Welcome back, everybody. This is the Passive and Aggressive Podcast. My name is Dalton Johnson. I am relatively passive. I'm here with someone who's very, very, very aggressive. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Seen a very, very good fight card yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Probably one of the best of all time.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration.
Probably best of the year.
Definitely the best so far this year. What else did we talk about? We talked about the new Spider-Man game for PS4.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's not what it's called at all. It's called Marvel's Spider-Man. Jesus.
Good thing I didn't fucking talk shit about that.
That was a movie from 2017, you fool.
We did watch it last night, though, after the fights. We got really drunk and it's like, oh, fuck it, put on.
It was a Spider-Man kind of weekend for us.
It was.
You guys will hear about how goddamn upset I was when I didn't have it, because we technically recorded on Thursday, which is a day before the game came out. I was, It was a rough time for me. But then you'll be able to hear my review and my actual thoughts about it.
Sure.
And then we get, our
Don't you fucking intro my shit,
okay.
bro.
I was going to really undersell it.
Fucking
I was going to really undersell it.
my shit, bro.
Go ahead.
Jeez. Sometimes you got to, no boundaries.
Seriously?
And respect.
Says the guy who just walks into my room and just hangs out in the doorway while I'm doing my own thing.
Anyways, back to the point, Dalton. Halo MCC, a real game, one of the best of all time,
also
received the fucking update that it needed. Just like Batman's the hero that we deserve, that we need, that we don't deserve, or some shit. Sure. That update was the same fucking thing for Halo.
You didn't deserve it?
In general. We didn't deserve it, but we got it. Okay. We were talking shit about Bungie all this time, but they finally okay, we're going to give you the game that we should have given you years ago. There's a huge update, bunch of added shit. Game's really, really fun. I talked about all the updates.
It was very unfortunate. Make sure you look at the timestamps in our notes if you want to skip over it. He's going to not include those in the notes.
No
just
such
so you
thing
can't
as
skip over
timestamps now. And then we also, as usual, all things MMA.
Hang on a minute. I did squeeze in some NFL business in there.
I forgot.
This is the first week of the NFL, and I made sure to talk about my Chicago Bears a little bit.
The Bears.
The Bears. And then, yes, we dove in the UFC, talked some weight cutting.
Yeah, unionizing, weight cutting drama, UFC 228, James Vick, the Cowboy Perry drama, and a bunch of other shit. So
yeah, we go in super depth. So make sure you pay attention.
Do you hear the tranquility in your ears?
Tranquility?
That has to make sense, right? That's a thing.
Sounds like
tranquility in your ears. That has to be something.
Sounds like Code Red Mountain Dew and Virgin.
What are you doing, man?
Nick, I'm upset.
Why?
Because today is Thursday. What's the date? The 6th? September 6th? 9/6?
This is not what I was expecting at all when I hit record. But okay, go on.
Yeah.
You about to diss me subliminally, or are you just going to throw out a track record like everybody else is doing?
Neither.
Are you going to talk about it on the podcast?
Just because I said I'm upset doesn't mean that this is about to be a rap battle. I know you're hung up on this whole Eminem thing, but that's not all in life.
You said, I'm upset.
I'm upset.
Yeah, just like Drake did.
Well, yeah, that was the reference I was going with to lead into my conversation that you rudely interrupted.
I wanted a rap thing to happen, but
okay, no.
It's a Dalton thing, so let's go on.
Yeah, how... Anyone who came here for Dalton things, you're in luck. Anyone who came here for rap things, you gotta wait your fucking turn. Anyway.
Fortunately.
Tomorrow... Spider-Man comes out.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what you've been bitching about.
And there are people that are already fucking playing it. They're on Twitch. They're on Reddit. I'm seeing all their gameplay. It's spoiling shit for me.
Did you see the ending yet?
The ending?
Yeah.
No, I haven't had
Is this like Homecoming? Is this the movie in the game, or is this like a completely different game?
No, it is absolutely not a movie game.
Good. I hate movie games.
Movie games are awful. Yeah. And Spider-Man is actually the only series that has done it well. It used to be like the best superhero games that started was, I think, Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 2, one of them.
On the PlayStation 2, right?
Yes.
I played that shit.
That was when Sony owned it, when they had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, who possibly may be the real start of the whole superhero craze. I know we like to say it was Iron Man, but I think it was like Spider-Man 2 that did it, really. And then we saw Spider-Man 3, which is like, okay, so superhero movies do kind of suck still.
Was Spider-Man 1 the first Marvel movie that came out in it wasn't like 20 years?
I don't think it was Marvel. I mean,
yeah, it's
Marvel.
No, it's not obviously like Marvel Studios.
Right,
MCU.
It was by Sony.
Correct, but is that like the first Marvel, non-Batman-esque movie?
No, there have been really old like Thor movies and Hulk movies.
Yeah,
there was the
TV
Incredible Hulk before that as
but
well,
I'm saying like
with
in the past 20 years? Were those like was Spider-Man the biggest Marvel hit? And then I think so. I think you're probably right.
I think so.
I think it started the superhero craze.
I think so. Yeah.
It
was never really a thing before that.
But MCU finished it, and they still got that shit. They stole that shit.
Yeah, it's true.
There's nothing they could do. You know what they did? They bought Sony.
That's how much they won that little battle. So the Spider-Man game, after those went through, Sony lost the rights to it, lost the rights to video games. Actually, I'm not sure they actually ever had them. Sony had the movies, but they did not have the video games.
So who had the video games?
Activision had the video games.
That makes sense because I remember like little eye and shit. And
Yep.
Stabbing it and shit.
That might be a different
whatever, same thing
entirely. But this was created by Insomniac Games, was it? And it's released by Sony now that they finally got their hands back on it. And it is fucking incredible.
Just from the reviews that you've read so far?
Based on what I've seen, this is just another in the line of Sony exclusive, like God of War, The Last of Us. That's proving PlayStation is clearly the best fucking console. There's no way you can dispute it.
Proving, first of all, don't say wild accusations. Like
it might be a little opinionated.
Second of all, it only proves that single player games are like making a huge comeback. Like they're becoming the more popular thing.
And you know who's the best at them?
Are you trying to say you?
No.
Because I've seen you play God of War. I've seen you run around.
I'm better than you.
For 15 minutes.
I saw you die in like 3 seconds.
Trying to find a place to climb.
Listen, I'm bad at noticing puzzles and shit. I don't like puzzle games. I like action games. I'm good at killing shit.
I came home one day. Like 6 p.m. after work and shit. And it's bright out. Sun's out. I open the door. And there's no light in here whatsoever. The shades, the blinds are all closed. All the lights are off. I walk in the living room and Dawn's mouth open playing God of War. Eyes redder than a dragon. And he's like, I need help.
Did I say that? That doesn't sound like me.
You're like, I'm stuck or some shit like that. And I was watching. I'm like, dude, just fucking...
Just climb up that thing, man.
And
I was like, wait, there? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, it was interesting. Then I watched for like another hour. I was just amazed at like how fucking trivial High Dalton's mind works. Because it doesn't work that well.
I try to overthink things and then I miss the obvious things. It's like story of my life. Listen, a couple things from that little story you told. One is dark, and you didn't have to mention the sun shining. It doesn't really matter. It's Michigan. It doesn't do that very often.
Darker than a demon's house.
I like my cinematic experience. When you go to a movie theater, if you want someone to just fucking open the blinds, no, that's bullshit.
You want like a demon to resonate and just spawn up in darkness, because I don't know if you know this, but demons only come when it's dark out. And you
is that in like the Spectre's magazine, dude, Spectre's Weekly? Do you subscribe to that? No, you don't fucking do that. Don't pull all this bullshit
you watch
out of your
Supernatural,
ass.
You know exactly what I'm
talking
about.
No, I don't. That show doesn't exist anymore.
Dude, also, it sounded like episode or season 18.
Okay, yeah. Well, I heard some news just today, in fact, that Dean Winchester is not going to be in most of it.
Really?
So, yeah.
Dean's my guy, though. He's probably just like...
Yeah, so get the fuck out of my show, asshole!
Yeah, because he's over here trying to fucking help dumbasses like you that like to play in the dark and get demons fucking spawned on you.
I still don't know where you're getting the demons income. Anyways, moving on. So Spider-Man, like God of War and The Last of Us, offers this really well-crafted, story-driven experience. The story is like one of the best parts of it. Story, the graphics, the characters, how well the actors perform. It's... like it's a AAA title. It's
who's the main bad guy?
There is no main bad guy. You go through all of them.
Yeah, but there's usually like a final boss.
I don't know. Haven't really finished the game, have I, Nick? So I couldn't possibly tell you that.
I forget who was the final boss in the one that I played on PlayStation 2. I think it was Venom.
There's no way you can remember that, and I'm pretty sure it was not Venom.
Maybe Venom.
Doubt it.
I remember at the very end of the game, you get picked up with a plane, and like inside the plane, it's Venom fucking piloting, and Captain America is sitting next to him. It's pretty fucking weird for a Spider-Man game, but I was down with it. Do you remember that or no?
No, sounds like fake news. Well, in this game, the setting is like an alternate universe of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Peter is a bit older. He's already worked at
college or like high school.
He's already worked at the Daily Bugle, and he's quit the Daily Bugle,
Jesus.
and he's already dated Mary Jane. I don't know if he is currently dating Mary Jane. There's definitely a romantic interest involved.
He got that Gwen Stacy?
Might be.
Or Mary Jane? Which one? Which one, Dalton?
I don't know! Stop asking me these trivial questions!
That's the important questions. That's what everybody should be asking.
How is that important? Which girl
Spider-Man's
is banging?
sex life
That's not important.
is
Not
detrimental
important.
to
Nope.
how well he performs
That's completely untrue.
as a superhero.
Completely untrue. They both offer the exact same thing.
When he's with Gwen Stacy,
It's just a damsel in distress.
It's just pussy. You know what I mean? It's just like a fuck buddy. But when he's with Mary Jane, he gets all emotional and shit. And his enemies know that. So all they gotta do is kidnap Mary Jane, and then Spider-Man becomes a little puppy dog bitch.
Yeah, that's
kind of like Mario with
that's what you
Princess
do when
Zelda. Or not Princess Zelda, Princess Peach.
That's what a damsel in distress is, yes.
Yeah, but Gwen Stacy wasn't like that.
Yes, she was. In the Amazing Spider-Man, was it 2? When she dies, that was like one of the most emotional Spider-Man scenes ever.
He cried for a minute. He's like, all right, I'm going to go find me some Mary Jane.
No!
I'll holler at you later.
Why do you keep making this shit up to support your arguments? It doesn't make sense. So in this case, in this game, like I said, it's like an alternate universe attached to the movies. So it's a bit in the future, but he's already put away some big villains. I think like Reptile, or is it Killer Croc? I forget which one is the Marvel one, which one's the DC
Killer
one.
Killer Croc is DC.
Yeah, okay. So it's Reptile then. And so he's already got some perps under his belt. You can see the Avengers Tower in the game and the Wakandan
Seriously?
Embassy. Yep. As well as, obvious stuff like the Oscorp building and, all the stuff from those awesome villains like the Green Goblin and shit.
Dude, are you talking about Lizard, not Reptile?
I don't know. There's too many of that exact type thing.
It's called Lizard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the dude in the movie with the tail.
Who the fuck's Reptile?
I don't know. When you said that, I was like, what the fuck is this? So I Googled that shit real quick. I typed in Reptiles of Spider-Man and Lizard came up.
I don't appreciate your live action fact checks.
checking your ass.
I don't appreciate it. Now I'm Googling Reptile to see if it exists.
Oh, shit.
I shouldn't have Googled superhero.
Is it going to be kind of like God of War in the sense that there's no loading screens? And it's like
I would compare
extremely
it,
graphic focused.
Yes. I would say it's less like God of War though, and more like the Batman Arkham games.
Those games are fucking dope, dude.
It's basically the exact same as that, except improved.
Batman's sweet though because you do it at night, and it's like
there's a full day-night cycle in this game. Where in Arkham, everything was nighttime.
Yeah, but Arkham is just like Gotham City's like fuck. It's like Detroit, but on steroids.
It's true. So
it's like kind of like that's like a cool darkness to it.
Okay.
I don't know. I love Batman Arkham. I'm sure I'll love this Spider-Man game. I definitely want to play it. I'm gonna play the shit out of it when you're not. When you're like,
yeah. So
I'm gonna play over your story and shit.
You keep saying this, but you said that about God of War too. You're like what, an hour in?
I'm like 4 hours, and I got through the river. I'm exploring it and shit.
Yeah, you're definitely like I'm gonna find everything. I'm gonna take my time. But it doesn't really work with your playstyle because you play 30 minutes a week.
I'll beat it 2020, motherfuckers. I'm waiting for the other one to get close to release so I can hurry up and beat this one, and the game's fresh in my mind.
So there may be literally no superhero-related character named Reptile.
So I'm saying, I was like, what the fuck is
it a Mortal Kombat character? I'm just so confused.
Dude.
There's too many lizard-type, animorphs, whatever. Do you remember those books? Holy shit.
Animorphs? No.
Animorphs? Where the books, it shows the person like slowly transforming into animal.
Jesus Christ. No, that sounds like torture. It sounds like the werewolf shit, man. Does a fucking moon come out as well? How's that torture?
I mean, probably. I'm assuming a moon comes out in these books.
Dude, being a werewolf has to be torture. Are you serious?
We're not talking about this. So, like I said, it's very similar to the Batman Arkham games, specifically the way you move around. You got this enormous open city. And Gotham and New York are pretty much the exact same thing. Like you said, Batman is the darker version. It's basically a shadow of real life New York.
It's like Black Mirror.
Basically, it's the dark reflection of it. You're right. And so Spider-Man is in this New York City. Batman's in that darker version. So this is basically like Batman at daytime.
Who you got? Fight to the death.
Spider-Man.
Over Batman?
Dude's a dog.
I think so. Spider Sense is it's going to be the edge. But Batman has all those gadgets and shit.
And experience. I feel like if Peter Parker was like an adult and he had the brain power of... Well,
that's the thing. He don't really need experience.
He's smart and he's incredibly skilled.
And he's just has the strength of 10 people.
He's one of the most overpowered human-related superheroes. Not like Thor, who's literally a god.
Like Wolverine might get Spider-Man's ass, though.
It's true.
I think Wolverine fucked both of them.
Different universe. Anyways, so the combat's like really fluid. You do these combos and you get these badass skill sets from like a tree that you fill out. You get all these different kind of costumes. Like obviously you start off with, the hoodie version where it's just like a bullshit mask over them. And then you can get the normal Spider-Man suit. You can get a black and yellow Spider-Man suit. You can get
my favorite was the black Spider-Man suit, the Venom one.
For sure. You can get the suit from Infinity War that Tony gives him.
Oh, for real?
That's my favorite one. The shiny metal one where it takes them to space.
That thing is overpowered. That thing is
it's
fucking slick.
If you pre-order the game, you get that. And
did you pre-order it?
That's the only reason I did. I'm actually
Did it cost like an extra $15?
It didn't cost any extra money.
Okay,
so I was
cool.
like, whatever, I'm going to play it, so might as well buy it now.
Type move by Sony to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Because I'm so sick
taking
of
advantage of people. But
games. Always fucking. That's the new thing now. Is just add-ons for games.
Yeah,
Hut Hockey Ultimate Team. I rest my case.
EA is like the root of all evil in terms of that shit.
They prey on little teenagers who don't know how to make decisions.
Ooh, a new costume. Better buy it now.
They get emotionally attached to their fucking ranks and shit, so they go begging their parents, stealing credit cards and shit. Like,
welcome to Fortnite.
Yeah, that's business, son.
Yeah, I'm usually super against like pre-ordering games until the reviews come out or there's some established conversation about it. So you don't get fooled.
Pre-order games but I knew I was gonna buy those games no matter what, because I played first-person shooters. So every Call of Duty I would fucking pre-order. Halo I pre-order. NHL I pre-order.
Sure, those solid buys are not too big of a deal, but it's generally frowned upon to give your money to a developer with no real evidence that you're gonna want it.
Right.
So like these games that promise all these things, like I don't know if you know No Man's Sky. It's like a space explorer. It's supposed to be super fucking ambitious. Like
huge world, like huge universe.
Exactly. You get in your spaceship, you fly from one planet to another, no loading screens.
That
or
sounds
anything.
dope.
And it is dope, but
that would cost so much money to make.
It's dope like 2 years after it released. When it released and everyone pre-ordered it and was super hype, they were so disappointed. And I think the company like lost a shit ton of money.
So they like used that money to update it as
they updated it as time went by. They like released like a new patch. This is No Man's Sky next.
You know who else did that?
Who?
Halo. Look at the transition.
Hang on a minute. I wasn't done with Spider-Man. Damn it.
What else do you got about Spider-Man, man? Man.
It's a good game. I recommend it. Despite not playing it.
Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure Sony's gonna like veto this podcast as an advertisement for their shit.
Okay, hang on. Let me just run you through the bullet points before we move on. So 1, the graphics are incredible. The story is incredible. The combat is super fun. You feel like Spider-Man when you're moving around. Your web sling. There's literally no feeling in a superhero video game that beats that.
I imagine it's very similar to Batman.
Yeah, in Batman, you whip out your cape, you're flying around,
and then when he fights, he almost has his own spider sense in the game.
His own little gadgets.
Spider-Man legit has spider sense. So if you're fighting those big crowds of gangs and you're in the middle of it, you'll have those dodge buttons just like Batman and shit.
Yep.
Those are the games that I play. Like I beat Batman Arkham Knight on the hardest difficulty, and that's like where you have to be perfect,
right?
Or else if you fuck up a couple times, you're pretty much dead.
Right, and I think Sony is releasing, when the game launches, an ultra difficulty, so
of course
they're going to be playing on that even more.
It's like one hit, you're dead or some shit like that.
Probably.
Yeah, that's like some RuneScape hardcore Iron Man bullshit.
That'd be some shit for sure. So it does also still have the Spider-Man style of comedy, which I think is really important to the overall aesthetic or the feeling of the game.
What kind of Spider-Man comedy?
It can
Andrew
be
Garfield or Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, I think.
Okay, that's cool.
So,
sorry, bro. You've had enough.
You can't cut me off with Halo music, man.
Do you hear the tranquility in your ears?
Tranquility?
That has to make sense, right? That's a thing.
Sounds like
tranquility in your ears. That has to be something.
Sounds like Code Red Mountain Dew and Virgins.
I used to drink a 2-liter of Code Red every day.
Bam! And he used to not fuck anybody. Bam!
I seen an old picture of myself on Facebook today. You know how they have the like flashbacks?
Oh yeah, the memories.
Yeah, there was one from 6 years ago, and I fucking shared that shit. And I was because it's Thursday, and I was like, "Throwback Thursday." Yikes. Let me show you this picture real quick.
I'm not ready for it. I've seen some pictures of old Nick, and
yeah, for the folks that don't know,
it looks closely resemblance of a very old bowl of porridge. It's the best way to describe it.
For the folks that don't know, I lost 110 pounds, and that was about like 5 years ago. So there was a flashback 6 years ago of me in my prime, back when I was a fucking sexy stud.
Holy
the
shit.
Curly Goldilocks hair
You're
with the
so
dirty blonde, and I had the fucking
brown.
sneakers of sneakers. Look how fucking crisp those sneakers are.
Those are clean.
With my big ass Aeropostale blue shirt that's covering my whole body, and my size 44 waist shorts.
Yeah, you're basically wearing a dress. You're so rotund, it's ridiculous.
Look at that. And I still have my leg muscles though, for real.
It's really surprising given how much is surrounding them. But yeah, you can see the leg muscles. I guess they're carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I have big legs. I carried like a 110-pound backpack my whole life.
I suggest everyone who hears this podcast go look up Nick Martwinsky on Facebook and look through all these pictures. Is your profile public?
No.
Oh, damn it.
What? I don't even have that many good pictures. My Instagram's public.
There you go.
You can go look on there. You can subscribe to our podcast.
Hashtag Fat Nick.
And then go to Instagram and like our shit and share with your friends. You know, we usually do the shit at the end of the podcast, Dalton, but I like...
So why are you doing it now and yelling at me about it?
I like how you brought it up.
I didn't...
Middle. Good job. Why am I playing music for a game of this magnitude?
This magnitude?
Yes. Why am I talking about
like
Halo?
Really old and washed up and no one cares about it anymore?
Ooh, not anymore, Dalton.
What do you mean?
Halo got an update.
Wait, like
Big
Halo
update.
5? Didn't we already talk about Halo 5?
Halo
Halo 6,
MCC Master Chief Collection updated. I went to go play it. You were here. I went to go play it the other day, and it kept saying there's not enough storage on your Xbox. And I was like, what the fuck? I have the CD. Why do I need storage? I'm not downloading anything. So I kept fucking trying to, I thought, I have a GIMP Xbox. I bought it at a goddamn thrift shop. So sometimes it fucks up on me and it's like 4 years old. So I like hard reset it. I unplugged all the cords. I replugged them in and it's still doing it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, okay, I don't have enough storage even though I got a terabyte fucking external hard drive and there's like only 200 gigabytes used on it. So I don't know. I don't know how to work this shit, okay? I'm old. Fuck this technology shit. I deleted everything off my game, my Xbox itself.
Everything?
Almost everything. And then I downloaded Halo. And it was like 74 gigabytes. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's a big deal.
Yeah. And then it fucking finally loaded. And I remember like, oh my God, there was supposed to be an update coming out. And I thought it already came out, but I guess not. And then loaded up the game. It has a brand new menu, brand new everything. My rankings down back to 1. They have all new matchmaking and a shit ton of updates.
Yeah.
And I played the fuck out of it. I tried to play the fuck out of it. Like, I had a very busy weekend.
Yeah.
So I had like my sisters over, I had family shit going on and like whatever. So like every chance I had, I played a game. Like literally every chance.
I remember.
And then Labor Day, I literally spent the whole day because like finally my girl's at work. My family's like, they've had enough of me. I don't have to go visit nobody. I'm getting up. I've worked out already. I'm taking the day off. I've earned this shit. So I just fucking hit the bong really, really well. Real proper. And then you came out and I was like, dude, you want to play Halo? And we fucking played for like at least 3-4 hours.
Did we?
Yeah.
I thought we played like 3 or 4 games.
No. We played like at least 8 games. At least.
For real?
We lost 2 of them. And we won a lot of them. You did pretty well. I was proud of you. You were steadily growing.
Once again, we were at rank 1.
I was ranked 12 or some shit.
I was rank 3.
Well, here's the thing. Remember how I was telling you back in the day, like I was breaking down how Halo 3's ranking used to be and all that?
Yeah.
When I was looking up all the Halo MCC updates, it is very similar to Halo 3's ranking system. Like, you know how I told you it gives you like a plus minus of 10 on either side of your level? Mm-hmm. So if you're like rank 10, you're going to be facing people all the way from rank 20 to rank 1.
Sure.
That's how Halo MCC is now. And they also have it where if you're going in by yourself, they're going to try to match you up with people that are going in to a Team Slayer by themselves. And if you're partied up with somebody, they're going to try to match you up with people that are partied. Like if you're a group of 3, they're going to try to make you match up with a group of 3. Group of 2, then the other team will have 2 people.
It's actually surprisingly important.
Extremely important.
There's a similar thing in Dota. There's a solo queue and there's a party queue. Because when a party queues together and they're able to communicate flawlessly, that's like an enormous advantage.
They win no matter what. Like that was one of the main reasons why I hated Halo MCC, where like I can't say I hated it. I still played it.
You played it significantly less.
Yeah, and I get so frustrated because I could literally LeBron every game. Like true. I'm not even joking. I'll play a game, I'll get pissed off. I'll have Dalton come out of his fucking room and like, look at this shit, man.
It's true. I hate it every time.
I'd go like 28 kills, like 14 assists, and like 8 deaths, and we'd still lose like 44 to 50.
That's LeBron.
Because I had 2 people that went 1 in 17 and 1 in 21 or some shit like that.
Right. So if you had your own little 4-stack,
right,
you'd be fine.
And most of the time we lost like that is because it was a group of randoms versus a team, and that team, even if they're not individually better than you, as a team, that makes, like in Halo, makes a world of difference. If you communicate and you actually use teamwork and you fucking like team shot and you outposition people, you can start spawn trapping them and start controlling the weapons and that. It's like, it don't matter how good you are. You could be facing a fucking pro. And like that pro is not going to win 1v4.
You sure?
Yeah, I've done it in MLG before.
You beat a pro?
Me and Ed was a 48 in MLG, or he was a 50 in MLG.
I feel like Ed is as close as a casual can get to a pro as possible.
Yeah, Ed was, and I played with him all the time. So like me and him would go in MLG, and like every once in a while you'll see like one time he faced Flame Sword from Status Quo, and he wasn't with his team.
Okay.
And it was like capture the flag on Narrows. I'll never forget this. We won 3-1. But that motherfucker went positive. He went like positive 20.
He did everything he possibly could.
Yeah, it just, but if you don't got teammates that are going to communicate.
Well, especially in objective
collaborate,
type game mode like that, though.
For sure. And that's another thing with Halo MCC is like the new Halo 3 ranking playlist.
Game mode.
Right. Unquote. Actually has objective-based games way more often than it did before the update.
Yeah, we played games like Oddball, Capture the Flag, and those threw me. I think those were the games we lost. Capture the Flag, I know was.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because I don't know how to make an impact.
We played Pit on. No, we played
Capture the Flag on Pit.
No, we played King of the Hill on Pit. And I kept telling you to get in the fucking hill, and you were just like standing.
No, you weren't.
You were standing above it.
You told me you would get it, and you just wanted me to cover you. I was like, okay, I'll do some covering, and that's what I did the whole game.
I think you got like 10 seconds worth of points.
I saw that, like, because that was how you got scored instead of kills. So I saw that. I was like, 0, and everyone else has 95. Oh well, I'm playing my role. I'm just being a little
like
support.
A main slayer.
I was basically a turret. I was just up there to shoot people and not really do anything.
That's not a bad stat. That's what the pros would do. They'd have like an objective guy,
that's kind of
slayer guy.
I was trying to play a role.
Yeah, but you ain't a slayer. Like obviously. You're the guy that needs to get in the fucking hill and just try to survive.
Just run around circles. Don't kill me.
So some other updates is
R.
I'm from Detroit.
There's multiple.
60 FPS frames per second, so it's upgraded, and there's 4K graphics now, so it supports 4K shit.
But your Xbox can't even run those. You need an Xbox One S, X, whatever.
Yeah, but the folks at home probably do. They're probably richer than me.
Bet they do.
I'm cheap, bro. I'm wearing the same shoes for the past 8 years. Fuck out of here. It has dedicated servers in Microsoft's global data centers for every single matchmaking playlist.
Yeah, I think
every single one.
Dedicated servers is a big deal. So
it's huge, especially nowadays. And I don't know if you noticed, like before, like it would take forever to find players, and when you finally found players and you found a game, sometimes the games would take forever to load.
There's like an 80% chance people just drop out and you reload
right.
again.
Not now. It's once they get everybody locked in, you don't even get a fucking second to look at what map. You don't get to mentally prepare for the map or the playlist, which I kind of don't like.
But that's probably just because you're so used to the other system. I mean, you press go, you should be ready to go. Right?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting though, because like you see Guardian coming up, I'm like, fuck, is this Slayer? Is this Oddball? Ooh, let's go! Like, get ready. But the games are consistent. Like you find a game within a minute every single time. And since the update, I have not had like any lag issues. I haven't gotten kicked out of any games. It's been fun. It's been like playing old Halo.
Now, you were very excited about it, and I could tell you were enjoying it way more than you enjoyed playing it before the update. And I was thinking about it, and I'm wondering if you're enjoying it more because you're playing against worse opponents. Because one, everyone starts at rank 1, so already you're mixed with the worst of the worst and the best of the best. So,
right, so it's
kind of a toss-up. Whereas in the old patch, the only people that were playing it were enthusiasts for Halo. Sorry, but that's the way it was.
It was enthusiasts for Halo, but they weren't
sure, they weren't very good, but I mean, neither were you.
I like it more now just because there's less bullshit.
Okay.
There's less, like when we were going in as a team, we rarely had teammates that would do horrible. And I'm wondering if that's because like, okay, we're a pair, and then they're gonna pair us up with 2 other people as like a 4 group, like 4 people, 2 groups of 2.
We were a pair, and they were pairing us with more pairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bunch of pears, they're good. Eat them.
Never had one actually.
Seriously, they're fucking delicious. Like the fucking, I don't know, what's the other apple? Anyways, and it seems like it's just more crisp. There's not as much lag. I don't know. I'm just fucking loving it, dude. Okay. I really am. They also have offline LAN support now, which I didn't even know MCC didn't support LAN, which is kind of fucking ridiculous.
Describe that to those who don't know.
LAN is a local area network.
Oh, you've got it Googled.
No, I don't. I'm studying networking, you fuck.
You were looking at the computer screen as you said.
Trello. Yeah, I got my notes up, but I didn't have what the fucking acronym was. Okay, man, don't judge me.
I'm not allowed to know because I can't read your basically diary.
That's when you connect your Xboxes together. You connect all your shit together through.
You're in one room.
Yeah, so you build your own
online connection, basically.
Correct, like your own little internet, and then usually when you do LAN parties in the XP back in the day, it's way less laggy. There's like 0 lag. Your shots you never have to lead your shots, and it's almost just like playing like how the pros played back in the day. It was all through LAN. Like when you watched too much on like ESPN or whatever,
Right.
it was all LAN shit. How the nerds play. They also have faster load times, the updated menus, like I said. Apparently there was a bunch of glitches in the campaign, and they've updated them all. Updated the matchmaking playlist. And they even, which I thought was fucking funny, hey, Bungie has a Trello board for Halo.
Wait, what?
They have a Trello board of like what they're working on now, what they plan to work on in the future, and suggestions from the fans.
I have never heard of a company doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I wonder if more do that.
My thing is, why do you wait like fucking 6 years till after the game's out to do all these updates?
Well,
like if you did this
it's not
shit
like they were
right off
doing.
rip,
It's not like they were doing nothing.
sure, they were trying to invest all
Halo
their
4,
yes,
ODST,
and
Halo 5.
it just didn't work.
Yeah. So they're going to be pushing a new game, which we've already talked about in previous podcasts.
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
More focused on Master Chief, and now it seems like they're just trying to bring things back to the old way. And like before, they had a fire. They were trying to throw some gas on it to keep it going.
Right.
In this case, fire's kind of gone down.
But they were reigniting it with the same old shit.
Right.
That everybody fucking loved.
Right.
Nobody wanted different shit. Nobody asked for sprinkling.
Why are you
in Halo.
doing this?
Nobody asked for the stupid new fucking Halo 4 and 5 guns that nobody uses, you know? I'm excited for it. They also, never mind. I forgot what I was going to say.
Just like that, huh?
Just like that.
It was there and it was gone. That's interesting.
The first fucking... All right, my favorite game that we played was the standoff game. That's the map where it's a giant map and they have two bases on each side. And there's a little laser in the center. You have the warthogs on each side.
Uh-huh.
And like that's the map where if you're like playing against really, really good people, it's either BRs from across the map, like a team shot, whoever has the best teamwork wins, or it's people who can use a warthog and dog it and like spawn the other people or keep them spawn trapped. And that's exactly
what we did.
That's exactly what we did. Because I was like, dude, this game is gonna suck. I hate playing standoff. I just hate it. It takes forever.
We used to play it a lot before the update, and it did often suck because we were on the receiving end of that shit.
Right. And then I was like, Dawn, I drive, you shoot the warthog. He's like, all right.
All right.
We fucking got like, I'm pretty sure you got 21.
I got like 21 kills, yeah.
21 turret kills, 2 triple kills. I was sitting there having a fucking blast. I was cracking up because you were having so much fun getting all those kills. I don't know if you guys don't know, but don't get that many kills in Halo.
Once again, I play the support role. I'm just there to help. I don't
He averages
kill.
about like 6 kills a game.
I'm a pacifist. I just like to hurt people with bullets, but I don't actually kill them.
Yeah, so that was a good game for him for sure.
It felt good. Can't lie.
Do you got any other game shit? What you got? What you got going? Or can we go to like to my MMA topics? MMA talk is my segment. I like to call it.
No more on games. But NFL starts this week. I had to think about it.
Jaquan Griffin. Shaquem?
I think it's Jaquan.
That's the only guy that I'm like interested in watching in NFL right now.
Jaquan Griffin is the amputee cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks.
Do you know he fucking benched 225 pounds 10 times?
Does he use the...
I don't
what's
know.
What's the politically correct term to use?
The politically correct term? I don't know.
It's nub, right?
Stub?
Stub, nub.
Something.
Stump.
I don't know.
One of those. Does
Whatever.
he use that to bench?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
That's absurd.
But still, 225 pounds, 10 reps is fucking ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. The guy is a physical specimen. I'm glad he's going to be starting on Sunday, which, if you're listening to this, it already happened, so.
I thought he was a first-round pick. He was a 5th-round pick.
He was definitely not. No one would use a first-round pick on an amputee.
I don't know shit about football, so I wasn't sure. So, saying that he's a 5th-round pick, did he really dramatically improve that much in like training to get the start, or do you think it's more of a story?
It's definitely not a story.
He's definitely legit, right?
It may be a lack of depth on the Seahawks' part. It may be that he's just balling out of his mind.
Aren't they a good team?
They were.
They're not anymore. They lost Crabtree, the guy who screamed, "Don't fucking have sorry receiver guarding me, Crabtree," whatever his name is.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah,
he was a cornerback, so they lost him. I think they lost their safety as well, Earl Thomas. That was like a contract dispute. I don't think it ever got settled.
Really?
Yeah. So lots of.
They still got Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah, Russell Wilson. They no longer have Marshawn Lynch.
Damn, they don't have like anybody.
Honestly, no, they don't.
Maybe that's why he's getting the start.
You know who does have people?
Not the Lions.
Not the Lions. In the same division, though, Chicago Bears.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, indeed. Oh, my God. Nick.
Don would not shut the fuck up about this shit.
Excited. The Bears got Khalil Mack, who is easily a top 5 defensive end. Someone who they'll be on the front line. They'll be going around the offensive line.
They're trying to sack the quarterback.
All you have to do is sack the quarterback.
He's Sue, Ndamukong Suh.
Sue is a tackle, so on that same defensive line, he's in the middle.
Which position is like a bigger person?
The middle. So on the
Ndamukong would fucking destroy this guy if he wanted to.
I mean, in a fight, sure, but that's not really comparable to defensive end. Khalil Mack's way faster and more athletic and not a monster.
He's not a man beater.
Yeah, or a cheater. But Khalil Mack, he averages like 12 sacks a season. The highest is like 15. So that's fucking incredible. This is huge defensive boost that the Bears desperately needed, and people were worried that they weren't going to get because they shelled out so many draft picks for their young quarterback that they got, Mitchell Trubisky.
Is he good?
He played less than half the season last year, so it's kind of hard to tell, but...
Is he like trending upward?
Yeah, everyone expects big things from him.
And now they got good defensemen.
And now they have good defensemen to round it up.
You said they traded their draft picks for the quarterback?
Yes. Well, they traded their draft picks to move up in the draft.
Yeah, but then they just trade 2 firsts for this guy as well?
I don't know if it was 2 firsts.
I think it was.
It might have been, but it was definitely 2 high draft picks.
Where are they getting these draft picks, man?
Obviously, they had them accrued. They sucked for a long time. It was really rough for a while. That's why I'm so excited about it, especially that they attracted a free agent, because just last year, Alshon Jeffrey, who was one of the Bears' best players, wide receiver, left in free agency to join the Philadelphia Eagles, and he won a fucking Super Bowl in his first year gone.
Don't you love that shit?
No.
That's what that people put a Phil Kessel. Now,
Phil Kessel.
If Philly wins again, then he put a Phil Kessel because he went back to back.
That'd be incredible, honestly.
I was so happy for Phil Kessel.
Yeah,
when he
for
did
sure.
That. He fucking earned that shit.
And Alshon Jeffrey deserves it too. I'm happy for him. Former Bear, win a championship.
So does what's their name? Chicago Cubs or some shit? Chicago Bears? Yeah, the Bears.
Are you actually like an idiot? What's your IQ? 5?
Are they like a playoff team now? Lions still gonna tap that ass?
No. Lions probably gonna be last in the division.
Really?
That's my bold prediction.
Why do you say that? Weren't they like 3rd in the division last year?
They have like 2 good players.
Who?
Matthew Stafford and Darius Slay. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't they got homeboy that was on the Seahawks?
Golden Tate?
Yeah,
he's not that good.
No, I thought he was like really good.
Not really good. He's not in the top.
I don't know shit
receivers.
about football at all, dude.
So don't throw your input in. Let me give it to you, okay? So, like I said, the Bears have been sucking. The only mark they've made on the NFL recently is beating the Packers on Brett Favre night, which I remember. I watched that game. Brett Favre, I don't know if you know his.
Yes, I know who Brett Favre is.
Okay, you just said you don't know shit about football, so I don't know.
He's a quarterback, right? Yeah. See? He was there before Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. He was replaced by Aaron Rodgers.
What's up?
So, since now they've got their new quarterback, they've got and they got their defensive powerhouse in Khalil Mack, and he's also young. So they have this foundation that's really positive.
You don't think they gave up too much?
I don't think so.
Do they have a lot of depth to match those few potential stars?
They've been building it slowly over these shitty ass years. They've been building the depth.
Oh, we'll see what happens. See if they become a playoff team or if they just, pull a Lions. And
I think people are expecting them to be a championship team next year.
You know what? Sports, I can't wait to come back.
Is it hockey?
It's hockey.
Wow. Surprise.
I am so excited to see the Red Wings. I keep bringing it up.
You keep bringing it up, and you keep bringing up that you say that every year, but this year's going to be different.
No. I say every year in the summer, like, I fucking miss hockey.
No, you say you're excited for the Red Wings. I remember when they had the coaching change, you're like, this guy's going to do a great job. He used to coach
that wasn't last year. That was like 4 years ago.
I didn't say last year. I said a few years ago, I think. In the past.
Do whatever year. You know what I mean? But anyways, I was excited for Jack Flashow because at the time I was like, well, we have all these rookies coming up.
And he worked with them in the
He's the Grand
NHL.
Rapids coach. Yeah. He won the Calder Cup with them. He knows how to motivate.
And what happened?
He didn't motivate. There's something wrong with the fucking chemistry in the locker room for sure the past couple years.
Things that aren't really expected.
Like when Zetterberg has like post-game interviews and he's talking about the lack of discipline and how angry he is and saying that we deserve to lose and these young guys need to play the full game. Like when Zetterberg is that angry and he's calling shots out, that's when you know that shit's fucked up because he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Clearly fucked up to make that happen.
Right. But I'm excited for this year for the Red Wings just because I know we're not going to be a playoff team.
Sure.
But I think we're going to be an entertaining team now. past few years we haven't really had like we've had Larkin as our like glimmer of hope, and every once in a while,
sometimes,
yeah, we have these few guys that get some flashy goals, but for the most part,
they're guys that can
getting beat down.
Be flashy, but
yeah, they have like a flash in the pan every game.
Right
now, we got a lot of younger guys, like all those guys for the past couple of years, getting more experience, and then we just signed Thomas Vanek again in the offseason, which when he was with us, he was almost a point-a-game player.
I like Vanek.
Yeah, he's really offensively talented, and I was listening to some of his interviews saying why he signed back, and he said he wants to be his main role with the Red Wings right now is to teach these young guys how to play in the NHL. So he's going to be like the veteran trying to show them what to do.
It's always good when players embrace that role.
Right, and he has a really, really, really high hockey IQ. He got a knack for scoring, and if he can get that same mentality with Larkin, who's really, really talented, who's extremely fast, who seems like he wants to become the next great Red Wing player. Like every interview I've seen of him over the summer he's like, I got a lot more work to do. I am not content with my performances. Like he seems driven and motivated, and he seems like he's willing to do what it takes to become a better player. Like he's being a professional about the shit. And then you just got Filip Zadina, who everybody is like super, super high on.
Was that like a steal draft pick? I remember.
Yeah, it was a steal for sure.
Dropped. What pick was that? 7? He was supposed to go 4?
I think he was supposed to go 4. Like Ottawa and Montreal picked over him. And everybody was tripping that they picked over him. And then when we got him,
you can't pass up.
Yeah, like we desperately need defense.
Sure.
Our offense, we have a lot of depth. Mm-hmm. Our defense, not so much. So there was some people that were like, man, we should have fucking got a defenseman with that pick. But you gotta there's people with that mentality where you pick the best player for your team or you pick the best player in the draft.
I think pick the best player is like the standard now, and it seems to be working. Like you pick those Connor McDavid, like you're set for a while.
Right, exactly.
You pick a solid role player, maybe the rest of your roles fall apart and you're left in the same spot.
So I'm excited to see if we're going to make any trades because we have so much depth up front.
Right.
To get a defenseman.
Depth and young talent.
Right. And I'm also just excited to see us play in general. We got Pittsburgh's old coach, who I'm fucking drawing a blank on his name, but he seems like he's a really, really fun coach because I used to watch the Winter Classics, and they had like the lead-ups to the Winter Classics, and the one where there was Pittsburgh versus, I don't know, like maybe Chicago? I think it was Chicago. They were showing some of the training and some of the practicing drills that he does. And I guess every practice or every once a month or some shit, they have a race. Or no, not a race. They have a shootout competition. Uh-oh. And the last person to score has to do a lap around the arena or some shit like that.
God.
Yeah. It was fucking funny as hell. So I think like having that kind of like making practice fun like that for the younger guys will be cool. Like they'll have a bond as well, and then like the grittiness of Jeff Blashill. Like I think those two will mesh well. They were the two coaches for the men's hockey Olympics.
Oh, for real?
For USA, yeah.
So they've got some experience together.
Yeah, they have a lot of chemistry together, and they're both excited. This guy, the assistant coach, I can't fucking remember his name right now, but he's a head coach. He's quality. He was Buffalo's head coach for the past couple of years.
Yeah, I was surprised when you told me that they nailed a head coach for the assistant position.
So I'm liking how our development is going outside of the ring too. The rink.
Does anyone call it that?
No, I just made that up on the fly. So I kind of think of like management and coaches and shit. But I can't wait for that. I definitely think that we're not going to be a playoff team though, because the way the standings are set up and the way you get qualified for the playoffs, we'd have to be a wild card spot. We're not going to beat Tampa. We're not going to beat Toronto. Toronto may be the fucking favorite to win the cup this year, dude. Babcock and Shanahan changed that team around in like 4 years.
They got it operating on all cylinders.
Yeah, and now they got John Tavares with
That's nuts.
Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is my girlfriend's favorite player. Fuck. Which
is surprising. Most like Detroit female fans, or I guess fans that like guys, really like, you know, the Larkins, right? Maybe the Abbeys.
They used to love Datsuk for sure. Just because of how flashy he was, like with the helmet on, of course.
Yeah, it's like Datsuk looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah, you know.
Are you serious?
Gargoyle. He was feared like one on the ice, man. He's the one that got me fucking passionate about hockey. I love that shit. But Sam likes him because I think one of the first games we ever went to was against Toronto. And I was telling her, I was like, you see this guy, Austin Matthews, right here?
Keep an eye on him.
I was like, keep an eye on this little kid because he's going to be the future of Toronto. He's going to turn this team around. He's from America, blah, blah, blah. He's just a really, really good player. And sure as shit, he scored like twice on us that game. And every time we play them, he fucking scores on us. So she's like, she likes him.
Just her
like,
rating
really
of him
good.
goes up every single
Yeah.
time. So this is your own fault.
She likes Larkin too. Like,
Sure.
don't get it twisted. Like, I'm sure Larkin could still steal my girl if he wanted to. But I can't fucking wait for that shit, dude.
I think it's becoming more of a trend that the young and exciting teams are the ones that win
Yeah.
in all sports, honestly.
Well, who won the cup last year?
Who did win the cup last year? Why am I blanking on that?
Seriously? We know suck them more. Ovi.
Oh,
The
of
summer
course!
Ovi.
What the fuck? Oh my goodness! I was thinking, was it Vegas?
They fucking,
was losing my mind.
If they did win, that would be a movie.
I really wanted it to happen. I want to see that movie.
I wanted Vegas to win until Ovechkin got to the final. And then once Ovi got to the final, I wanted Ovi to win. I wanted him to get his cup because he earns that. He deserved that
Yeah,
by far. Like,
it was pretty worth it.
that was
also.
something that was over his head. Like, I can't even imagine how much weight he had on his shoulders of going down as one of the best players of all time to not win a cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure when you get to that point, you start panicking. Like, should I like trade? Like, should I go to a different team to win a cup? Should I pull a Luke Robitaille, go to the Red Wings, get a cup that way? So shit like that, you know?
Sure.
I
So
can't.
definitely some respect for him sticking it out and finding a way. And it wasn't just him either.
No, they got a stacked team. Holtby is a fucking beast. He's like top
Backstrom.
3
They've
goalie
all-
in the world.
They've all been through some shit.
And then they got Evgeny Kuznetsov and Kucherov and shit like that. Who just they're not Kucherov. Tampa Bay has Kucherov.
Yeah.
But they have who's the guy's name? Is it, they had somebody that had more points than Ovi. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this shit. I'm not no NHL analyst. I'm just a fan. Okay?
No one's accusing you of anything. Calm down.
You know, I'm a good guy at though. Like who I can be like a reporter for.
Shitty transition.
A good guy. MMA.
Shitty. Everyone call Nick out on his shitty transitions. Go on Twitter at Nick What's your Twitter handle?
I don't know. At Nick Martwinsky.
At Nick Martwinsky. Bruh. You suck at transitions. Get better at it. Do some nice fade outs. Do like a Star Wars, those wipes. Those wiping transitions that Star Wars always does. Figure out how to do that with audio.
Accept all criticism, both constructive and negative. I will absorb it, filter it in my brain, and spew out either "fuck you" or "thank you."
It'll probably fuck you.
One or the other.
In either situation.
Nah.
It's like a 90% to 10% in
Something
favor
like
of
that.
the fuck you.
90% of the time, 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Remember how I was telling you about the Cowboy and Greg Jackson drama?
Yeah, where Cowboy didn't want his former... Was his former camp or was he still training there?
It was... I guess he was still training there at the time.
So
yeah.
he didn't want his camp to train the guy he was facing because they knew everything about him, which I guess makes sense, but who the fuck are you to demand that?
This was before he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
So once he was on that, you obviously get to see the full story from Cowboy's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, Cowboy was saying that he's been there for over 10 years. He's brought in all these fighters in with him. He has this huge relationship with Greg Jackson, and loyalty is extremely important to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when they found out that he was fighting Mike Perry, he went to the gym and said, "Hey man, can you guys not train him for just this one fight? You guys know all my secrets. You guys know how to train against me, blah, blah, blah." And Michael John basically told him no. Saying, "No, Mike Perry pays here, and I think we're going to stick with him." So they pretty much, almost what they kind of did with Rashad Evans and John Jones.
Just chose the young
The young prospect.
I'm a star.
Yeah, but Mike Perry is not a John Jones.
Yeah, not at all.
And then Cowboy got all pissed. And then Cowboy started talking his shit, talking about some drama within the gym that I guess nobody knew. And he's like, "You got $150 a month. If you can afford that, you can train at Greg Jackson's and you can train with the pros." He said that people go in there out off the street and they're sparring, and it's almost like a puppy mill. He was trying to say where all these young guys that have zero experience keep coming in and they're letting them train with the pros as long as they're paying. And he was saying that their coaches they have are wrestlers who have sold steroids in the past and people who don't have a lot of experience to look up YouTube drills and literally have everybody use the YouTube, follow the fucking YouTube drills instead of their actual own instructions from their own experience and
This
shit.
is what he said on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Yeah. And he said that Greg Jackson was going to come to Cowboys Ranch and train him, and then Winklejohn was gonna train Perry, and Cowboy was like, "What the fuck? I'm not gonna let you come to my gym and see me work out, and then you can go back to your gym and conspire against me and stuff like that." And pretty much put the gym on blast, saying it's not what it used to be. It's a shell of its former self. Michael Winklejohn doesn't fucking train anybody the right way. He trains one way for every fighter. He's not specific to their style or anything like that. And started drama.
I mean, those are all pretty damning accusations.
Mike Winklejohn clapped back, obviously, and he said that like Cowboy hasn't been consistent in the gym for the past 10 years. He hasn't helped. Yeah, he has. He's fought a lot, dude.
Consistent as in results.
Sure. Well, he had like 9 wins in a row, but then he like since that win streak.
I guess if you say 10 years, sure. I wasn't expecting you to put that timetable on it.
Well, in the past 10 years, he said Winklejohn, from his memory, he can't remember any time Cowboys helped anybody with their fight camp at all. Like he's never been a training partner for them.
So he's pretty selfish.
He's selfish. He's a narcissistic. He's as big of a narcissist as they come. That's what Winklejohn said. Then, Diego Sanchez, who's been at the gym like forever. He was the Ultimate Fighter, the first winner, like number 1. He's the only one left on that fucking thing. And he was roasting Cowboy, saying none of that shit's true. Like, yeah, we have some young guns in here, but there's still different classes for veterans and shit. Like, we get our work into, like, we're not beating up people. This isn't unprofessional shit. It's like, if you were here, you would know. And he said he's trained more times with Mike Perry in the past month than he's trained with Cowboy in the past 10 years. So it's like, when I was first listening to Cowboy, obviously I was thinking like, damn, this shit, if this is all true, that's shitty. Like, obviously. But I don't know if everything that he's saying is necessarily true.
It sounds to me like Cowboy might have some mixed sources. Obviously, he's not going to this gym and like scoping the shit out, seeing the YouTube videos. Right. I'm assuming he's heard it from someone who's telling him this, and then it's like what is that called? Confirmation bias. If you think something about someone and someone tells you this, that even mildly confirms it.
Right, and then you're negative against them already, so you're gonna already agree with it. And I can see what Winklejohn's saying in Cowboy. Like, I don't see Cowboy as being. I've never heard of anybody ever saying that he's an amazing training partner.
Right.
And I've never heard of anybody, like, I could see, like, I've heard Cowboy talk and, like, some of the shit he says. And you can see, like, I could see him being selfish. I mean, I don't know. He seems like a very cool guy.
Yeah, he seems less selfish and maybe more self-centered. I think they're two different things. Basically, his thoughts just revolve more around himself. But I don't think
Sounds like me.
Yeah, but I don't, it honestly does. I don't think it's like a super negative thing. Like
he's not trying to be negative.
Care about yourself. Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know, but it's definitely caused a lot of drama. Mike Perry's getting pissed off because he's caught in the middle of it. Like, he didn't really do anything wrong. He went to Greg Jackson's to try to better his career. Right. And then this fight came about, and they both accepted it. And he's saying, like, this ain't even got nothing to do with me, but you got all these Cowboy fans that are talking shit. So, like, Mike Perry will have, like, Instagram stories of him just fucking saying, yo, fuck you motherfuckers. None of you guys will say this shit to my face. You're all a bunch of bitches. Like, him just going off. And then, like, 2 hours later, he'll put up a post saying, you know what? I'm not even gonna let you guys bother me.
Next day, what the fuck? Who are all these people talking shit?
Exactly, but he said that he's gonna be violent towards Cowboy. He said, like, I'm not gonna be like Darren Till. When I hurt him, I'm not gonna swarm him. I'm gonna step off of him. I'm gonna make him fucking fight me in the center of the cage. So it's definitely becoming personal, and there's definitely drama behind it.
That's funny.
So I don't know who I'm
just
rooting
minding
for.
his own business, and everyone starts talking shit.
I love Mike Perry. I've been saying that for a long time.
You have been.
He's as real as he gets.
He's a real one.
Yeah, and I like the real motherfuckers. Like it's not a stick. It's not a Kobe Covington. He's not trying to be like a controversial person in that sense. That's just who he is.
He's not playing a role.
Right.
It's who he's always been himself. I used to not like him. I think he's kind of turned a leaf.
Yeah.
But he's always been himself.
Right.
It's just himself has changed. I don't think anyone's ever changed that transparently before. Not that I've noticed.
And also, too, when you first hear him, you're automatically going to have, like, a certain way you think about him.
He talks a certain way, and he has face tattoos.
Right. So you're going to think that he may be, like, really, really hard, and, like, he might not, like... I don't know. He's kind of like a Diaz, bro, where you hear them talk sometimes, and it's like, this guy sounds like an asshole.
Right.
But when you meet them, it's like he's a dope guy.
Yeah.
And that's what Mike Perry is. That's what everybody says. Woodley says he fucking loves Perry.
I know Darren Till ran into him on the street once.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just want to fight you. And I was like, yeah, I'll fight you like right now.
Yeah.
He was ready for it.
Dude, he asked him if they can go spar, and he goes, I thought you were talking about the spa.
He's like,
And then
no,
Perry's like, no,
I want to fight you. It was so funny. It was like deadpan. Darrentil's so like amped up, like, oh, you wanted to spa. I thought you wanted to go to the spa. He's like, no, I wanted to fight you.
And then Woodley was telling a story before. He was doing a seminar, and Mike Perry came to the seminar, and he went up to Woodley, and he said, you're the champ right now. I'm a 170 pounder. I'm coming to take your belt, but first I'm going to take your seminar. And Woodley started cracking up. He's like, all right. He's like, I like it.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah, Mike Perry's a fucking G.
He is funny.
James Vick was on Ariel Helwani's show this Monday, and I was very curious to hear him because I'm fascinated with how people handle losses, especially when they hype themselves up so much and then they lose.
Like devastating.
Right. That has like the ego blow, how much that hurts. Like I can't even imagine how much pain you're in for like a week.
Think about
emotionally.
Think about like a super small thing that happens to you and you get a setback.
Right.
Like, I can't even think of like an example, but like I really wanted to play Spider-Man, but it's not even out yet, so I gotta wait like 12 hours.
Yeah, imagine having a fucking fight camp.
It's your life.
Yeah, a 3-month fight camp where you're grueling to your body, like absolutely devastating your body. You got this huge mental game the whole time because you're signed to fucking fight somebody in front of millions of people. You're angry at the UFC because you're like 10-2 in the UFC, and you have this huge winning streak, and you're finally getting your main event. You're finally getting your time to shine, and you realize that you're gonna try to take this opportunity and try to market yourself as much as possible. So he's trying to pull the drama route. So he starts talking shit, and it makes the fight more interesting. There's people it becomes a more high profile fight basically, and I think the worst thing that could have possibly happened to him. And he was on Ariel's show, and they asked him how he feels, and he's honest. I respected it. He was saying he's devastated. He said he was probably the worst day of his life, and he said he was saying things that he did because he needed to get. That's the only way. Like the UFC was giving him a fight. Like he got this fight on a short notice because Iaquinta backed out.
Right.
And that's like the only way he got a main event in the UFC. Like he was saying that, like he's like, I blew my opportunity.
That was a shot.
Yeah, he was sounding down and depressed. Like Ariel was almost giving him like a speech. He's like, dude, he's like, you're like 10-3 in the UFC or 10-2 in the UFC.
This ain't the end.
This ain't the end. All you need is one to bounce back. You'll be fine. And he caught up Paul Felder on the podcast.
I was trying to. I know I've heard James Vick in the news recently. I know there was something. I was just looking it up. I literally couldn't find it. But was it Paul Felder and him have verbally agreed to a fight?
Yeah, it looks like it. They agreed to fight in the past. Like he was supposed to fight Paul Felder before Justin Gaethje, but he took that instead because it was a main event and a higher ranked opponent. And Paul Felder understands. He's like, I would have done the same thing. And Paul Felder's a really cool guy. He just seems.
I
cool.
agree. I've always liked him. Ever since we saw him here.
Right. Yeah, I forget who he knocked out, but he knocked somebody out. But he, it looks like that's what the fight's going to be. And I'm excited for James Vick.
I'm excited for both of them.
I like Paul Felder a lot, and I'm just now starting to, like, break down James Vick. And the psychology of fighters is, like, really important to me.
I see that very much.
So I respect that he's upfront, and I respect that he's not making excuses. He's like, there's no excuses. I was 100% healthy. I didn't feel nervous at all. He's like, if anything, I felt like Justin was nervous.
Maybe he went too easy then. He was like, he's nervous. This is in the bag. What's like the correct way to prepare for a fight?
You got to prepare for every situation, every scenario.
Do you have to view it
just
as...
drilling and drilling and drilling, so it's muscle memory in there, so you don't got to think. Because the second you think is the second that it takes time for your brain to process. You know what I mean? That split second to process can be that split second where you get caught.
So interesting. Because, I mean, I feel like you have to think because there are strategies in play, game plans to execute. You're trying to listen to your coaches.
Right, but you can only think about so many things.
Right.
So if you're, like, in the cage, you're like, all right, make sure you're constantly circling. You're not circling towards this power hand. You're circling towards the left or some shit like that.
Sure, if you're running through those instructions, all of a sudden you're going to run into a fist.
Right. And then you got to, on top of that, you got to watch their movement and their feints and judge and their range. Like, it's a fucking chess game. It's I think Joe Rogan always says it's human chess with, like, the most dire consequences if you fuck up, something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't even know who I favorite in that fight either. Paul Felder's a really, really good striker. James Vick is just really, really long. And, you know, he's calculated. He knows how to fight. He looked like, to me, everybody was saying that he looked like he was shocked or, like the lights got to him, which it kind of did. but he didn't look like he was fighting like the lights got to him. He was judging his distance really well. He was keeping him at bay. He just got caught on the cage, and once Justin closed that corner and he couldn't circle out, he landed that fucking overhand right from hell and knocked him out right in the fucking button.
So you think maybe that's... If you're James Vick, how do you improve your next fight?
Well, you've gotten knocked out by the same exact punch twice now.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out whether it's keeping your hands up more or moving your feet more or not letting people get that close to you. Like initiating some kind of clinch game if he wants to. He has decent clinching.
I'm wondering if Gaethje like targeted that overhand, right?
Gaethje definitely looked more patient in that fight. He normally just, as soon as the fight goes, he just constant forward motion. This one, he was circling a little bit more. He was patient with his shots. So I'm happy for Justin Gaethje a lot because
I think you had some doubts.
I did. I thought James Vick was going to fuck him up because James Vick is a calculated fighter. He knows he fights to win, as where Justin Gaethje fights to fight. Right. And everybody loves fighting to fight, but you don't win championships that way.
You weren't very impressed, like winning wise, with that.
If he was going to fight the same way over and over again, then everybody was going to figure him out, and it would just lead to like a fight of the night performance by him losing, and all this brain damage for what? And it was like I was kind of worried about him. Sure, but if he's more calculated now and he's actually trying to implement a game plan, then we'll see what happens. He's obviously a top tier fighter. He wants to fight Kevin Lee now. Kevin Lee called him out, but Al Iaquinta said that he just signed a contract to fight him, like December 15th or something like that. But I don't know if Kevin Lee's going to sign it. Yeah. People are hesitant to fight Al now just because he backed out of his last fight, and he's just like, he's so off the walls. Like, he's angry at the UFC, and he's completely justified in, like, almost all of it. Like, all these fighters should be angry at the UFC, like the way Al is. Yeah. But, like they just don't trust him. They don't want to sign this contract and start training camp for him to just back out.
Is he that big of a draw as well? I thought Kevin Lee would have been...
He's extremely talented. He's beat Kevin Lee in the past. Al is a fucking animal. He's just been taking time off because he's mad at the UFC and he's making more money doing real estate. So he's like, why the fuck would I put my body through this if I feel like I'm not getting paid enough and I'm not getting the right opportunities and the right fights? He's basically speaking his mind. He's that person that's actually not doing the closed mouths don't get fed thing, you know? Sure. He's speaking his mind. He's a fucking crazy New York guy, you know? So like, you talking to me?
That's the only New York accent you can
That's all I can do. I can do a New York accent. That's about it. I was also listening to Wonder Boy on Ariel Helwani's podcast because I was curious to see who he thought was going to win the fight, which he pretty much...
He didn't say?
He said he's leaning towards Woodley pretty much, but he has no idea who's going to win. Obviously, he wants Till to win because if Till wins, he can get the rematch. Yeah. And he got done dirty by fucking Till because he's like, from the whole way... The story broke down, like when Till first weighed in, he had 176 and he had an hour to lose weight. He didn't even try to lose weight. He weighed more the second time. So it's like almost like weight cutting is like the new form of cheating, he firmly believes, and it could be true. Like the consequences for missing weight aren't devastating.
It's not as balanced as
it's like
the benefits of winning.
Right, like Brock Lesnar with steroids, for example. He took steroids, he fought Mark Hunt at UFC 200, made $3 million, and then got suspended for a year, got fined $200,000 or some shit like that. But he got the W. He won $2.8 million.
Went back to WWE's other high-paying, ridiculous job.
While Mark Hunt, who does get paid relatively well compared to other fighters, made his money, but took an ass whooping because the guy was on steroids and got nothing out of it, while Brock Lesnar is getting the fucking title shot with Cormier. You know what I mean? And Darren Till missed weight. Obviously, there were some issues, allegedly. Like,
personal
nobody's
things.
Ever came out and said what was going on. But allegedly, there was issues. Regardless, he missed weight. He didn't try to make weight after the hour, and he came in healthier and heavier. Like, he would not have been as healthy if he actually cut down to 170. So because of that, Wonder Boy thinks that's a form of cheating, and he's like, and look what he got out of it. He got a title shot out of it, and this shit ain't fair, and he was pretty much complaining, and it's like, you could feel for him big time, and you like feel bad for him, but at the very end he goes, but what are you gonna do? Like, this is the game, this is the fight game. And he's like, I wish we could like stand together and try to get things done. And as soon as he says stand together, Ariel Helwani's like, I'm gonna ask about the union. And he's like, what do you mean by standing together? Like, you guys are union guys? And he goes, yeah. He's like, I think that should, like, he wished it would happen.
Is it Wonder Boy said that?
Yeah. And I like, it has to happen, right? Like, all of these fighters are so worried about their own shit, which I understand.
This is personal stake. This is your life. If you throw it away, you could be throwing away
you work that hard to get to the UFC. Like, you ain't making money outside of the UFC, and then just getting to the UFC, you're not making that much money either. And all that hard work just to get there. And while you're there, it's almost like you want to keep your mouth shut and follow your P's and Q's so you can climb the rankings like everybody else has that's been successful, you know? But if everybody stood together and actually unionized and became an actual team where everybody was on the same board, they had like a players association, like a fighters association type thing, what are the promoters going to do? They can't do a goddamn thing.
Right, lose all the fighters.
They need the talent for everybody to come in. Like, once you unionize, you're going to see fighters get way more share of the profits. Like, Dana White and a lot of the promotions, like, their excuses is there's not enough money in the game. Which, that's kind of bullshit, because you're making like what, $50 million a year is your salary or something like that. Like, you sold the company for $4 billion. It's with ESPN. The fucking money can trickle down. Yeah, actually, it's not trickling down the way it should.
There's a big greed filter in the middle.
Yeah, for real. And I just don't understand. I understand why it's taken so long, but at the same time, it's almost like psychotic that it has. It's nonsense. Don't make any sense as to why these fighters are sticking together.
It's interesting. It's crabs in a bucket, man.
It's exactly crabs in a fucking bucket.
It's my favorite reference.
Okay, so let's talk about this UFC 228 recap.
Okay, I will happily do that, Nick.
Because this was probably the best card of the year.
Best card of the year so far, for sure.
As far as the fights, there was so many knockouts. There was so many barn burners.
They were all super quality. There was 2 knee bars?
Yes.
What?
There's only been 1 in UFC history, and it was in 2013.
2 in one night.
Yeah, 2 in one fucking night.
I'm still not convinced that Zabit isn't just a fucking copycat. Saw what happened, and he's like, I can do that.
He probably fucking did. They always say in the fucking gym that he does all kinds of crazy, outlandish shit.
Sure.
So
maybe he tried that, and he's like, it's not part of game plan. Whatever. And then he sees someone else who is like, oh, this is time. Now it's time.
I told you guys this works. Coach told me no.
Coach told no. I say yes.
All right, so let's start with the prelims, because there was a couple fights. Actually, every single fight was a fucking crazy fight. The Jim Miller fight versus Alex White. He fucking finished Alex White in the first round.
Right, props to him.
Yeah, he clipped him, and then good old-fashioned Jim Miller submitted him guillotine style. Mm-hmm. This is, I think he has the most fights in UFC history now.
Right, yeah. Something like 31, 32,
something ridiculous like that. His record's 28-11, so like the good majority of that's in the UFC. Mm-hmm. And he's had some wars back in the day. Like his fight versus Joe Lozon was one of the best fights of all time. And he used to be a top stud lightweight. Mm-hmm. And maybe he's turning back the clock a little bit here.
Yeah, I saw an interview. I don't know if you saw it too, but he said that he hasn't been feeling like he's been in form, so he's really excited to stay in the gym and actually put in that work because he feels like he hasn't really been himself.
I heard him say, I don't know if it was the same interview, but I heard him say that he hasn't been training the right way. He feels like he hasn't been training as an athlete. Like he's not putting in the road work to be explosive and have the best shape, be in the best shape possible. So maybe it was a similar interview, but it definitely seems like he has a fire lit under his ass, which is fucking good for him.
Yeah, for sure. I always like to see that,
especially like a resurgence. You know what I mean? And he like. It'd be hard. It'd be super hard for someone like me. If I was in his shoes, Jim Miller, realistically, not getting a title shot in the UFC.
No.
Not going to be known as a champ or one of the greatest.
Right.
So what's your motivation still?
Right. What keeps you going?
If it's just money, you could find better ways to make money.
That aren't detrimental to your health or require weeks of training.
Exactly. So where's the motivation? It's obviously he's passionate about it.
Yeah.
And he found it. So good shit. Then right after that, Diego Sanchez fucking dominated Craig White. What the fuck? It's the White brothers, Alex White, Craig White. Yeah. Are they related?
I doubt it. It's a very common last name.
They're white. They look alike.
White. Very descriptive last names.
They both got tattoos. They have to be related.
That doesn't mean they're related at all.
But Craig White he made the fucking death kiss. He made that crucial mistake.
Yeah.
Kissing Diego's fucking crazy ass at the stare down.
It was like no gay shit.
Yeah, and he smoked them 30-27 each time.
Yeah.
I was listening to his post-fight interview, and he said that he was unleashing the Mike Platinum Perry inside of him.
Oh, God.
He said he thinks it's a godsend that Perry came to the gym and like showed him how to be ferocious again. It's fucking good. Good for him.
Sure. So that's one of 2 decisions on the entire card.
Yes, on the entire fucking
The entire
dude.
card.
Yeah, there was fucking highlights left and right. We could go through every single fight, but we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
'cause
we're not gonna do that.
We got like
Let's-
time restrictions
Let's
and like
skip up to our first pick.
Buzzsprout only allows us to upload at
Don't
so
blame
much
Buzzsprout.
fucking quality content at a time. So if you guys are mad at us not uploading, just fucking give them some hate mail, okay?
Yeah, for sure. So our first actual pick that we bet on was Aljamain Sterling versus Cody Stamann.
And for the folks that don't know, every single fight card, me and Dalton make bets, and we just go through the card. One person picks first, and then
We'll go through about 5 fights on average.
loser of each fight has to take a shot.
Yeah.
Past card, I was 0 for 4. I was picking with my heart, and just had
Didn't
a
work
bad
out.
day. Yeah,
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out. So, I didn't take any shots. I owed those shots
because we weren't watching that fight togetger, so
right.
we waited.
So as soon as this fucking fight card started, I was like, all right, I gotta like start catching up. So me and Dawn both took a shot just to say fuck it,
Yep.
watch your fights and shit. And then right before this fight, I believe I took 2 more. Like right after this fight, something.
I think you took 1, and then this was your second.
I don't know, whatever. I took a lot of shots last night.
You
Like
did,
at least
yeah.
7.
Lost count easily.
But in this fight, I picked Cody Stamann because I thought that his wrestling would neutralize Aljo's wrestling, and I felt like he was better standing up. So I thought he was going to win the decision.
I was a little worried for a second because Stamann looked solid. He was backing him into the cage, and like Aljo couldn't find the strength to get him off him.
Right, but Aljo, he looks like a stud, man. He's fucking getting his old swagger back that he had before he lost a few fights. And he had the fucking knee bar, the very first one. He said he popped Cody's knee. So I hope his ACL ain't fucked, because that would hurt,
That'd
dude.
be so shitty. He was walking on it afterwards, which isn't always an indication that nothing is super wrong, but
Right.
at least it's something.
We'll see. I mean, I can only imagine. I've gotten a knee barred before in practice, and my right knee is like really sensitive. It's a pussy knee. So
tap immediately.
Yeah, as soon as I feel any type of pressure, I immediately tap.
No.
I'm paranoid that like I don't want
some
shit to get
permanent
injured.
damage, for
yeah,
sure.
and you can easily get permanent damage. Like at my gym, they don't let white belts train at all as far as leg locks. It's all just upper body.
It's like a forbidden spell.
Yeah, because it's so easy to ruin somebody's leg. If you push too hard the right way, you pull the wrong way. If you're holding it a second longer than their before
or
they're
if you have it
tapping.
at like a weird angle, just something small like that.
So it's very dangerous. So hopefully Cody's not gonna be out for like a year or so, and he can bounce back. But Aljo's definitely looking fucking good. And he called out Cruz. He said either the winner of Rivera and Dodson or Cruz.
Which is a bit of a jump in skill, but
Yeah, I think he can. He's there though. He's definitely there.
I guess we'll get to the Rivera-Dotson fight in a bit.
Yeah, first I want to talk about Tatiana, Dalton's new love.
I said after she won, I was like, I think I fell in love just now.
She is the woman Khabib.
She is.
She fucking mauled Carla. Like, look at these. I'm going to look at these stats real quick. Oh, wait.
Total strikes, since you're
You
a
can do it.
little
You
slow
can
on
do
your
it.
Googling there, Betty.
Yeah, do that, pal. Thank
Total
you.
strikes, Tatiana had 136. That's with an 87% accuracy.
Probably 99% of them on the ground.
Probably. Carla had 12 of 18.
12 strikes landed?
12 strikes versus 136.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. That's a Khabib-esque fight.
Right. Takedowns 9 for Tatiana of 11. Obviously 0 for Carla. Although she
Jesus.
tried a couple times. So what was the game plan for Tatiana? Was this the expected result, or was
I think
there
she's-
supposed to be some resistance?
Everybody knew that she was a really, really good wrestler.
Right.
And Carla is known for her wrestling
Right.
background, and that's how she wins fights. So that's why Tatiana was such a... that's why Carla was such an underdog. Because even though Tatiana is 9th ranked and Carla's 6th ranked, Tatiana is better at both their crafts.
So they're the same kind of specialty, but Tatiana's a better one.
Right.
So
But I thought personally that Carla's striking has improved drastically in
I
the
thought
past
so
few
as well,
fights.
yeah.
So I thought that if she can just keep it standing, and then I think she would have outstriked Tatiana. But Tatiana's just too much of a
said no,
savage,
yeah.
aggressive. And the crazy thing is she's not like a small, stocky person that has like a lot of power to lift up, like
She's
lower
lengthy.
body center of gravity and shit. She's tall. she's telling us she knows how to fucking use her positioning well, like almost like Khabib. Like she wasn't necessarily on top full mount, just landing shots. She was on the sides, getting some weird side controls. And every time Carla tried to move, she just like grabbed her wrist, dragged her right back down, and put the fucking beat down on her.
Right. It was less of a wrestle fuck and more of a literal tactician lock you down on the ground.
Right.
It's crazy.
All right. And then Rivera and Dotson was the second fight that we bet on.
Yep.
And I picked Rivera.
By decision, I believe?
Yes, by decision. Just because I felt that he is better than Dotson in almost every situation.
Sure.
The only thing that he's not better in is this, he's not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, and the other thing that I was worried about is that just because he got knocked out so bad, brutally by Marlon Moraes like 3 months ago.
Yeah, so he might be a little more susceptible to it.
Yeah, he might be jumping the gun trying to get back in there really quick because a lot of fighters, when they get knocked out, they want to get that taste out of their mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
They want to fucking bounce back immediately and get a W.
I mean, even I felt that way playing like a esport or something,
Right.
playing Dota, or even when we were playing Halo. Like,
Yeah,
well, we
for
can't
real.
stop right there. We fucking lost.
Yeah, so I was a little worried about that. I was like, John Dotson does have knockout power. It's like flash knockout power. So I could have see him knocking out Rivera with a one punch.
Right.
But if Rivera had his chin's there, you know, like I thought he was going to win by decision because he's too calculated of a fighter.
Right.
And that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, Dotson came in. He didn't look as physically supreme as he did at a lighter weight.
Joe Rogan was dogging him.
He was. Like, he went for a solid 5 minutes just talking shit.
Like lack of motivation, like he doesn't have a fire under his ass. I was like, God damn.
And I was looking at him like he looked soft. Joe's describing all these horrible shit. I was like, well, this is a horrible pick.
He does look soft in a way, but I feel like you got to give him the benefit of a doubt just because he's fighting at a weight class that's higher than him. They look at Calvin Gastelum. That motherfucker don't look like he's shredded. You know what I mean?
No.
And it's because he's fighting at 185.
Right.
But that being said, like obviously you could be in better shape for sure.
For sure.
Like he didn't look like he was out of shape.
No, he was still just as fast. I'm not sure how explosive he was, like power-wise. I'm not sure how heavy his shots actually were, but
It looked like he was afraid because Rivera was landing harder shots.
he was super accurate as well. Every time Dotson went in, he'd get clipped. And then his shots, they're so fast, has a high likelihood of missing. He ended up with 35% accuracy while Jimmy had 50.
Right. Rivera is a championship-esque fighter. He could easily fight anybody in the top 5 of the 135-pound division. And I'm curious, like, Rivera versus Aljo, I like Rivera a lot in that fight. Like, I don't think Aljo can take Rivera down.
No, he's a solid guy.
Yeah. So, but then again, I fucking doubted Aljo last time.
Yeah, you kind of said the same thing about Sting.
Right. And then,
So that was an L for me. So right now we're sitting at 1-1.
Yes, 1-1, but pretty sure I've taken like 4 shots at this point because I'm just trying to catch up.
Yeah. So I was feeling fine.
And then we did bet on Nico versus Valentina.
Yeah.
But that fight pulled out, whatever. Say what you will. Me personally, if like Nico only had the belt for 8 months.
Yeah.
And she just got stripped of the belt for like lack of fighting. It's kind of in that gray area because it's only been 8 months and you got other champions who haven't fought in over a year and they don't even get vacated. They just make an interim belt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then once they're healthy again, they fight. The thing that makes me okay with this decision is that this is the 3rd time that Nico and Valentina have been scheduled to fight and all 3 times have been canceled because of Nico. And this time it was a weight cutting issue. And if what Dana says is true, this is the only source that I have. So I got to like have some kind of like merit to it.
Right.
He said that the doctors forced her to stop and she was way over 115 or 125 pounds. So it was like she wasn't even professionally close. Like she wasn't even trying.
Not even close?
Yeah. So like she drained her body so much and she still wasn't close. So that means that she wasn't preparing herself the right way to make that weight. And Valentina thinks that it's 100% she did this shit on purpose so she can't fight and it's just an excuse and blah, blah, blah. And you know how Dana White is with his emotional decisions. So he definitely, maybe he jumped the gun. Maybe they should have slept on it for a few days or whatever. But I mean, they got to have, it's like, it was inevitable. Like everybody knew what was going to happen in that fucking fight. Like, let's be real.
You got to draw the line, yeah.
Yeah. So give it fucking, strip the belt and have Valentina fight somebody else. And Dana said he has an idea of who it's going to be, and he hasn't announced it yet. Could be Joanna. That'd be interesting. Or maybe like Jessica I. Like anybody that's at 125 right now is going to get smoked by Valentina. The only people that I think would be like, give her a run for her money, Joanna would be one. But then again, I'd give the edge to Valentina.
I think so, yeah.
But that's about it. Like right off the hand, I can't think of anybody else.
All right, Valentina's very top tier.
She's a badass. She makes me look like a woman.
Most people in general do. So,
Speaking of women.
what? We're gonna skip over the fight that replaced that?
Oh fuck! I thought we already did. My bad.
No, so we didn't do Valentina versus Nico, which was a wash. I had Nico, so I probably would have lost anyway. So we replaced that with a fight we did not bet on because it was also a wash, and that is Zabit versus Brandon Davis.
Right, Killer B. And Brandon Davis performed way better than I thought he was going to.
I know. I was starting to get excited. Like, this is a lot closer than I thought it would be.
I was watching him in the embeddeds, and he just seems like a cool, down-to-earth guy.
For sure.
Like, he's like, Zabit's a beast, but anybody can be beat, and why the fuck not? And he was, like, cutting weight, playing basketball and shit. Just looked like he was having fun.
Right, having fun with it. Yeah, that's definitely a... what's a good way to describe it? It's like a world beater type attitude. So if you're up against those big odds, having that kind of attitude is a really good way to
Fuck yeah, it is.
Put yourself in a good position.
Right, it's a great description. But like, I think Davis won that first round for sure. And I don't know if it was Zabit just getting a feel for him, but it looked like Davis was getting the better of the striking, and he was always making Zabit guess. Like once Zabit was trying to throw, Brandon Davis would throw a leg kick or he'd throw a jab. Yeah. He was just staying busy, so Zabit couldn't really like get his form going. But in the second round, he just decided to implement his wrestling.
Right, once the takedowns came in.
Dagestani wrestling.
6 on 7 takedowns.
Yeah, and then he performed another knee bar, and Davis literally could not move. He had him fucking.
It was the
sandwiched,
perfect
dude.
trap. It was like a human pretzel. It was absolutely ridiculous. He hyperextended his fucking leg over his head. It was
Isn't
insane.
that crazy that a human can do that to another human?
No.
That's,
I mean, yes.
It's crazy to me.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
I can't believe it.
It's such a humbling feeling. Like, if no one's ever done jujitsu or like any like wrestling or something like that, it's crazy.
They just pick you apart like they have the key to your body.
It's literally like drowning. Like, I've said it a million times.
Yeah.
And everybody said it. It's like our quicksand, eat too. Like, the more you struggle, the worse it gets for you.
So you just got to stay composed and find the right movements, get some wrist control, get yourself out.
Yeah, but he wasn't really.
Davis wasn't ready for that shit.
No, he already had that knee bar in locked, and he was just applying more and more pressure. And he could have like pushed his hips up more and even extended it further. And you don't want to fucking mess with those leg locks. If he got it and you can't get out, just tap. It's not worth it. It's not worth the potential damages on your knee.
Right.
So that was a shot for you. So it was 2-1 me at that time.
But then in comes the savior of my night, Jessica Andrade, with the performance of the night against Carolina. Is it Kowalkiewicz?
Kowalkiewicz, yeah. That's what I think.
Or is it Kovalkiewicz?
Kovalkiewicz.
Kovalkiewicz.
Carolina.
That's what they were calling on FS1, and then you parroted that. You said it. I was like, I think Kovalkiewicz just needs to do this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, isn't it Kowalkiewicz? Kowalkiewicz? I can't even say it now.
Kovalkiewicz sounds better.
Kowalkiewicz.
One or the other, man.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can make a joke saying I don't even know if she remembers her name. But
she might not. She had a pretty rough time. That was one of the more brutal KOs I've seen in women's
That was
MMA.
probably like the second best KO in women's history.
It was so clean. That's like the lights out.
Yeah, behind Holly Holm's head kick knockout of Ronda.
For sure.
As far as punching, one punch power, this may be the fucking best knockout. Carolina was out.
You don't see a lot of lights out punches.
On the fucking ground. Jessica Andrade is an animal.
For sure.
She's nice on the eyes. You know, she got a cute face.
She does.
The rest of her is fucking built. She's a little fucking tank. And she's probably going to get the title shot now against Rose. And I don't know if I like Rose in that fight.
I don't think so either. It's a tough one.
Rose is really, really good standing up. An unbelievable striker. She has really, really good jiu-jitsu. And she's not afraid to do crazy shit off her back. Or even pull guard and flying armbar, shit like that. She can do that. She's really athletic. But
it's fine and all. But how do you deal with Vanderlei Silva?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Jessica has power. She's super strong. She's like really, really good on the ground. So that'll be an interesting fight. I mean, you could go through Joanna's fight with her and try to take notes, but that's what I was talking to you about last night. Like, Rose seems like the perfect kryptonite for Joanna. But as far as the rest of that division goes, like even Claudia or Jessica Andrade, I don't like Rose's chances in either one of those fights. But you want to beat both them bitches.
Yeah, you always say styles make matchups, and that's a tough style to match up against. And I think Joanna is one of the only ones that can, take that early beating, that tempo that Claudia and Andrade bring, and she can turn it around. But I don't know if Rose can keep up with it.
I don't know if she can stay composed enough. That's the thing. And Rose is so emotional.
Yeah.
Like, she's still fucked up over the Connor incident. Like, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Her coach was on Ariel's podcast last week or the week before, and they were talking about Rose and saying that she won't even go in public places right now, like crowded areas, because she gets paranoid, because like anxiety, because like you never know. Because I mean, she probably had no idea what was going on, and you're just
loud noises, crashing, people screaming. Dude over here is bleeding from the eye.
Right. Yeah. So it probably freaked her the fuck out, and she's a very emotional person. She's had a fucked up past,
for sure,
like an abusive past. So I always worry about how that mindset before a fight, because if you're that emotional, I can only imagine how hard it is to be that composed when it comes to fight night. Like, she's probably going through mental battles like on a weekly basis, but she's done it in the past 2 fights against top tier talent with Joanna.
Yeah, she finds a way.
See. Maybe she'll prove everybody wrong if they end up fighting.
Yeah, but in this case, I did have Jessica Andrade, thank God.
Yeah, it's 2-2. And then the main event, which you had Woodley and I had Till. I thought Woodley was going to win, but that's how this works. Whoever picks first gets to fucking pick the favorite or whoever they want to pick. And then the second person just has to deal with their decision.
You got to live with it. In this case, when we made the picks, you were actually not at all sure who you wanted to pick. You could see benefits for both sides. Till looked like he was struggling with the weight cut. Or not struggling. He didn't have like a hard time with it, but
seemed miserable.
He just didn't like it at all.
Yeah, he had an interview before the fight, and it was right after a workout, and he was like really sluggish during the workout, and he was just saying he's sick of it. He can't wait for this fight to come and just be over with, because he's been living, breathing, dreaming this fight nonstop.
Yeah,
like he didn't have an escape. He'd train, then he'd go right to he'd go at the UFC Performance Institute, then he'd go to his house or hotel or wherever the fuck it was with his camp, and the whole time they're talking about the fight, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he'd go train again, and then train again, and then he has to diet and cut all this weight because he's a big motherfucker.
He's huge.
Yeah, and everybody's always drilling him about this weight cut. Every question was about the weight cut, and he was sick of it. So I almost feel like that right there was the victory for him in this fight. Like, he almost made, okay, I'm going to make weight and prove all these motherfuckers, prove them all wrong. Like, is his big hoorah.
Right.
Almost like how NHL team, I think it was Montreal, when they beat Boston in like the Eastern Conference semifinals, they won the Stanley Cup.
They're just happy to.
They're just celebrating and shit. Like, no, stay composed. You guys still had Tampa, and then Tampa smoked them.
Right.
And I almost feel like this is kind of what happened with Till.
It was just a hurdle they had to get over, but the hurdle necessarily wasn't.
It wasn't the fight. Yeah, the hurdle was him making weight in his mind.
I can see it for sure. And
he looked like, when everything was going down, they asked him after the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins, like, he's like, I just can't believe I'm in this position right now. He's like, I can, but I can't. But it was like almost like he accepted it, like he was gonna win before he even won. You gotta finish it
for sure.
Like how Connor, when he's walking into the octagon, he's like he gets the audience. He like absorbs everything that's going on. He accepts that he's about to be in the biggest fight in UFC history. All the lights are on him. All this pressure's on him, but he's composed. He's not like all giddy. He's not freaking out.
Yeah, when he walks out there, he has tunnel vision.
Right, exactly. And then when the fight's done, then when he accomplishes his goal, then you see the emotions come out. You see the tears from all the hard work, or you see him being happy as fuck and being
showing
a fucking
respect,
Connor.
being respectful towards his opponent, even though they had beef going up to it.
And it was like almost like the weight cut was Till's victory here. And if you guys watched the fucking fight,
you'll know it was his only victory.
Yeah.
Hopefully, before we get into the specifics of the fight, hopefully this is like something that's behind Till now. Hopefully he's able to focus on the fights going forward.
Yeah, I think here's the thing with Till is he is big. And every single time he fights at welterweight, it's gonna be a hard weight cut for him. So is he like Anthony Johnson, where he sucks himself down so much to where there's diminished returns, and then you're getting beat by people like Vitor Belfort, who you're like almost twice the size of? Yeah. Should he go up a weight class, go up 2 weight classes like Rumble did, and become this fucking savage killer at light heavyweight?
Have you seen him lately?
Dude, he's a fucking
unit.
Yeah, he's fucking super heavyweight now, dude.
That's insane.
He's obsessed with that powerlifting shit.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if staying at welterweight is necessarily the greatest idea for Till.
Yeah, he's kind of playing the Conor game where he's so much bigger than everyone else that he should be able to come out on top due to his technical striking and his size advantage. But he's running into these hefty challenges.
Yeah, he ran into his Jose Aldo and Woodley said no. Simple as that. So Till's gonna have to make a decision as far as if he wants to continue to drain his body like this, or just see if he's healthier and happier and he's even a better fighter at middleweight, because that's very possible. The people that are fucking fighting for the championship, Whitaker and Gastelum, used to fight at welterweight. They both Gastelum couldn't make weight because discipline, so he went up. Whitaker he lost to Wonderboy down there, and he said the weight cuts were brutal, so he went up and he's fucking undefeated up at middleweight. I completely can see that, and there's so many good fights for Till at fucking middleweight. Him versus Yoel Romero, or Till versus fucking Rockhold or Weidman, or even Whitaker. There's so many fucking good fights up there. So it's not like he's missing out, but yeah, you're right. This was his fight to be like Conor. Get the title, never fight at that division again, go up to the next division, and then become a 2-time champion.
Maybe he saw the lights. Maybe he saw that this is his only opportunity. If he fails, he's going to be struggling some more in the future.
Right.
So if he saw that intimidation and Tyron was not intimidated, I don't think he showed the slightest bit of nerves leading up.
I was almost convinced that it was a front because there was no nerves.
Yeah, you did say that.
I was like, I don't know what to think.
Is this an act?
Yeah.
He's so calm. How is this possible?
So calm and cool. And when that fucking first round started, I was expecting Darren Till to just pressure the fuck out of Woodley and force the fucking dog out of Woodley, but that's not what happened. Till was pressuring. The
dog was already there.
Yeah, Till was pressuring him a little bit, but he was hesitant, super hesitant to let anything go. All he was doing was kind of just judging the distance, and that's it. He was getting a feel for Woodley in the first round, and Woodley was putting in the work.
Right. He actually said, I think, in the post-fight that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to feel him out and then put the pressure on him afterwards. Maybe Tyron tires himself out and then leaves himself open.
Right.
But towards the beginning, it kind of seemed like both of them were expecting it to go the way of a Tyron Wonderboy fight. They were just feeling each other out, and then Tyron realized this is stupid and just charged him, started throwing those punches fucking as he's running forward. Yeah.
And then Till in the second round thought he had his distance, he thought he had the range going, so he's starting to let loose, and Woodley slipped the punch and just fucking landed a bomb, dropped him.
His distance was perfect.
It really, Woodley's striking is unreal. He really is, because he's beaten Wonderboy twice and he's beaten Till now.
Those are some of the best strikers in the division.
And he's the best wrestler in the division. The only person that can contend with that is Usman. I do not think Kobe's a better wrestler than Woodley at all. And I don't think either one of them have better takedown defense than Woodley. Woodley has the highest takedown defense in UFC history. He's an animal. And Till, according to the UFC stats, did not land a single fucking strike. He 0 for 3. 0 for fucking 3.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Woodley landed 85% of his strikes, dude.
Yeah. So we're getting some conflicting numbers, because the numbers that I'm looking at have Till at 1 of 7. But regardless. 0 to 1 strikes. Meanwhile, Tyron had about 80 with 80% accuracy. 57 of them were significant.
Yeah. He's an animal, dude.
And then he got him to the ground and he implemented apparently a submission which is his signature, the Darce choke. It's insane.
Good fight. I'm so happy for Woodley. I really am. I respect Till because he definitely took a fucking beating. Those elbows were brutal as fuck when Woodley got on top. Those were brutal.
If I was Till's mother, I would not be happy.
And Till said too, he's like, you beat the shit out of me, but I was still there. Those were not going to put me out.
I was surprised at that as well, because he was getting beat down. I was like, how long is this going to last? He was defending himself for so long.
And I was almost worried for Woodley, because I'm like, he's about to blow his wad. And if Till's still here, then this could be an issue. But Woodley stayed composed, and he synced in that Darce choke, and he fucking earned a black belt from his fucking coach.
On the spot.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful moment, dude. He fucking got more emotional for the black belt than he did the championship. Right. I agree with that 1,000%.
Dana put the UFC belt around him. He's like, yeah, I did it again. Woo!
Right.
And then his coach slaps that black belt on him. He crumples to the floor and starts crying.
Yeah. Good for Woodley. And good for Darren Till, because he, no excuses. Said Woodley was the better man. He has work to do. This will definitely light a fire under Till. He already had a fire under this guy. This fucking guy, for real. So I can't whoever fights Till next
they're in some trouble.
Yeah, they're in some fucking trouble.
So we'll see if that means he's going up a weight class or not. But for Tyron, he also is in a bit of a predicament that Who does he fight?
It's probably going to be
Someone who's in a higher weight
Kobe.
class?
It's probably going to be Kobe.
Because Kobe and Usman are probably not going to challenge him very much, right?
Usman would be an interesting fight against Woodley. Just because I feel like his wrestling is almost there with Woodley's. And he does have knockout power as well. That being said, I feel like Woodley's striking is a lot better. He knows how to win fights. Bottom line, he really does.
His camp always knows exactly what he needs to do.
Right, and I have a huge fucking bone to pick with Dana White.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
A huge fucking bone to pick, because before this fucking fight, every interview that he did, talking so highly of Till, saying he could be a superstar, he can be the next Conor, blah blah blah. And then when they asked about Woodley, saying, yeah, he's an amazing fighter, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot every single time. So he's had a chance to be a superstar, but he's not because of his own actions. Pretty much saying that it's his own fault. He's not a superstar.
Which is completely false.
Right. And first of all, okay, let's just take a step back.
Okay.
Darren Till, before he beat Cowboy, 2 decision wins. Then he had a crazy fucking knockout over Cowboy that blew him up. Then he fought Wonder Boy. How was his fucking fight with Wonder Boy any more exciting than Woodley's 2 fights with Wonder Boy? They were virtually the same thing. Just a chess match of extremely high level striking with both people hesitant to like make the first exchange because they know that if they make any mistakes whatsoever, then the lights are out.
Wonder Boy's going to finish you up.
Right. So how come Till's getting all this praise for beating Wonder Boy after missing weight by 6 pounds?
He was, beating Wonder Boy while being overweight.
Right, and he beat him virtually the same way Woodley did. He dropped him one time in the 4th round. Woodley did the exact same shit, you know? And in the first fight, it was even a more dominant victory for Woodley compared to the second fight.
For sure.
It's shitty for a Dana White. And after all the shit talk that he said about Woodley, he doesn't even have the fucking balls to have a post-fight interview. He just gives him the title and then he leaves.
He walked out of the venue.
He always does post-fight interviews. And he always gives the fighters, if they did well, he gives them props. If in his mind, if they did not do well or they were boring or whatever, then he fucking lets everybody know. And you got all these dumbass fans that don't know shit about like the highest of level of fighting. And they just go with whatever Dana says. If Dana says that he's a shitty fighter or he's a boring fighter, then that's what half those fans say because they can't think for themselves. They're a bunch of sheep.
Sure. Obviously, the UFC president is going to have the right knowledge on this.
Right.
So that's what they're going to trust.
And he doesn't even have the fucking balls to go after the fight and give Woodley the props that he deserves. You said that Woodley has this power to finish people, but he just don't. He fucking finished Homeboy. He finished your new Conor McGregor in 2 rounds without even getting fucking hit or maybe getting hit a couple times. Absolutely fucking dominating. He did everything you wanted him to do and you can't give him a fucking shout out? Seriously? Like, to me, that's just shitty. That just lets you know what kind of person that Dana is if you're on his bad side. He's emotional.
He's absolutely emotional. He's a kind of a drama queen. And the UFC, I think, if you look at guys like Wonder Boy, Till, Conor, Sage Northcutt, Dana's always going to have his Wonder Boys.
Right.
And the UFC, it's like he wants the UFC to be Dana White's Wonder Boy, Saturday Wonder Boy series. Right. Which is not the way it's going to be. You're going to have these guys like Tyron who are just better.
Right. Even like TJ Dillashaw, just like a complete fucking fighter. Sometimes they have boring fights, but when you're fighting somebody like Dominic Cruz is moving all the time, or you're fighting somebody like Wonder Boy, who is one of the best strikers in the fucking game, or Damian Maia, who is the best.
The most dangerous.
Yeah. And you fucking blow your shoulder out in the first round and you still win that fight after 5 rounds of that. It's the props have to be there. If you're willing to talk all this shit after a fight, if you think it's a boring or a bad fight, you better have the balls and the courage to go up and tell everybody that you're wrong about Woodley and tell everybody that he was an animal and he's one of the best in the world and he's quickly becoming one of the best welterweights of all time. Like, he wins a couple more, he's up there with GSP.
I agree.
And the level of competition that he's fighting, like, is pretty. GSP had amazing competition as well,
for sure.
But the people that Woodley is fighting right now,
they're the best of the division.
They're the best of the division, and they would probably beat most of the people that GSP fought, like the Johnny Hendrickses and the fucking Josh Koscheck's and just BJ Penn's, Matt Hughes. Like, they were great in their time. Don't get me wrong, legends of the sport, but they weren't as complete MMA fighters as everyone is now.
The game has advanced a lot.
And Woodley is staying on top. And welterweight looks like the most stacked fucking division. That or lightweight. One of the two are the most stacked divisions in the UFC. And Woodley has proven everybody time and time again that he's the best in that division. He's one of the best in the world.
Yep.
And good for him. I was so happy after his post-fight interview that he didn't call anybody out for like a money fight.
No.
Because that's all, like, it's no matter what Woodley says, everybody takes it the wrong way. And he even said it in this post-fight interview because they asked him who he wants next. And he said, I'm not even going to say because everybody fucking bitches. They complain about what I say, so I'm just going to fight whoever they put in front of me and I'm going to be the best in the world.
By the way, I have a single dropping out with Wiz Khalifa soon.
For sure. Fucking
who do you want to fight, Tyron? Doesn't matter. Here's my mixtape.
And now what the fuck are haters going to say about Woodley now?
What can you say?
Nothing. Maybe talk shit about his album. Cool. I mean, what? Ooh, your album sucks, but you're the best UFC welterweight in the world.
Yeah, congrats, guys. Your jealousy is showing.
Right. Yeah. So, I think that's shitty of Dana. Hopefully, he
needs to apologize.
Yeah. Even behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Something. Just Woodley was asked about it, like Ariel Helwani and Chael Sonnen asked him on ESPN, because Ariel was definitely trying to fucking poke that bear, because he's like on Woodley's side, like that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sure they've talked about it behind closed doors as well.
And Tyron just pretty much said, like, me and Dana have no beef. It's whatever. I won the fight. I don't need to talk to him after. He was being a professional about it, and it just seems like he's over the drama, and he's on the journey to be the greatest welterweight of all time.
He's a chosen one.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
So, with all that behind us, it begs the question again: who the fuck does he fight?
If I were making the decision,
if you're the matchmaker,
I would have Usman and Kobe fight, and then the winner of that fights Woodley.
Okay.
But I can 1,000% see the UFC just giving Kobe the next shot without having him fight Usman, just because of the controversy behind Kobe and the potential like stardom that he could get. Because if he beats Woodley and he keeps his shtick going and he can defend that belt a few times, he will definitely be a star.
For sure. He'll go zero to hero if he can beat Woodley like that.
He won't be a hero, but...
Here I use kind of loosely.
Everyone will love to hate him. Everybody will watch to see him get knocked out.
He'll be a little bit notorious.
Right. So that's probably going to be Woodley's next fight. I don't see him doing a super fight anytime soon. Whitaker and Gastelum got a fight, and then maybe after that fight, we'll see. Like, if Woodley beats Kobe, which I think he will smoke Kobe, the only person that's really left at the welterweight division right now that I could think of off the top of my head, let me look up the division real quick just so I don't fucking sound stupid.
Right. I do like the idea of an Usman-Kobe fight.
Yeah, to see who the number one contender is.
Right. Let's see who that new prospect is, because both of them kind of share that same window where they have so much expected of them.
Right. And Kobe was supposed to fight against Woodley.
Right.
And he turned it down because of a sinus infection thing.
Yeah.
Which I give Kobe the lack of, the benefit of the doubt, because he just had a fight and they wanted him to do a turnover for another championship fight within a couple months.
Yeah.
But you made that decision to not fight. That was your decision. So, that being said, Woodley had to fight a new person, Darren Till, who was arguably the dark horse of that division that everybody thought was going to be the champ. Everybody thought was going to be, well, I don't know everybody, but he was the favorite over Woodley, for sure. And it was definitely a harder fight than Kobe. So now Kobe has to, just like Ferguson did when he got injured and lost his championship fight with Khabib, has to fight Pettis. Same way Khabib had to fight Edson Barboza to get his fight again with Tony Ferguson. If you don't accept that fight, you got to get a fight to get back in that position.
You got to make it up.
Yeah, and I think Kobe should fight Usman.
I like that, yeah.
But after that, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be Kobe versus Woodley. And
I think that might actually be the case, because I did read that Tyron wants to fight on the 230 card. He wants to be the main event. Because they were supposed to announce that yesterday, says Joe Rogan.
For real, he let me down. I thought John Jones was going to be announced. I really did.
But it was not announced, so that leaves an opening. He didn't get touched, so...
Exactly. He literally can. As long as his body's not broken down from his training camp, he can easily bounce back. I don't know if he's going to bounce back for Kobe, though. It's not like a very enticing fight.
Not really
they better
worth
pay
it.
the man. You know what I mean?
Sure. Maybe he thinks of it as not a big risk at all. Because like you said, he should be able to handle him.
He really should. I'm looking at the rest of this division. Like,
Is there anyone that stands out?
RDA is number 3, but he just lost to Kobe. So Wonderboy's not fighting Woodley. Lawler is 5th, but he's still
Not the
injured,
same.
and he needs a warm-up fight. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
Maya's no. Magny, no. Jorge Masvidal is maybe, if he wins a couple, they might be a good fight. But that's pretty much it. He's fucking smoking the division. He really is. And as far as like middleweight, Whitaker has beat Yoel twice. He's fighting Gastelum. Rockhold and Weidman are gonna fight. So the winner of that's probably gonna fight the winner of Gastelum and
Bobby
Whitaker.
Knuckles.
But other than that, that division still has more work to do before there's a title fight. So maybe after Woodley defends the belt one more time, and then
he gets a super fight.
Yeah, then
against the winner of those two.
Right, the
winner of those two.
Yeah, like the little middleweight tournament that's going on.
Yeah.
That could happen.
That seems like the most likely scenario to me.
Right.
And it sounds fun as shit if he goes through Colby and then fights Robert Whitaker or something.
Yeah, I like his odds against Whitaker. I like his odds against almost everybody in that division, except Yoel.
I don't like him against Yoel.
Yeah, because Yoel is like kind of similar to Tyron.
It's Tyron on steroids.
Pretty much. I don't think he's as calculated as Woodley
Certainly
is.
not, yeah.
And I don't think his striking is as crisp, but his
hard
wrestling...
to account for those muscles.
Yes, his wrestling is on another level.
For sure.
Like Daniel Cormier said he might be able to fucking get him, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot for DC to admit that. But overall, UFC 2020 UFC 228 was a fucking great card.
Absolutely one of the best of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll see if 229
Dude,
can keep up with it. I think it'll be fine.
don't even get me started on
I
that
think it'll be
shit.
fine. Let's not talk about that too much because I feel like we're going to jinx it and
It's like not
MMA
even...
gods are going to ruin it for us.
We were talking about that yesterday, but even if one of those fighters pulled out, which Conor has never pulled out of a fight, so it would take a fucking catastrophic
His leg is broken.
injury, for him to pull out. Khabib has been known to pull out for fights, but not recently. But even if one of them pulls out, Conor somehow pulls out, then you got Khabib versus Al Kukui,
Right.
which I've been wanting to see for so fucking long.
Yeah, you did say that you think that fight might be even more exciting than
For
Conor versus Khabib.
me personally, I want to see that fight more, just because the styles and the matchups, the drama between Conor and Khabib is way higher.
juicy.
Yeah,
The juiciest
it's
shit.
It's like it's gonna be the biggest fight of all time for sure.
Yeah.
And then even if Khabib pulls out and then Al Kukui comes in and takes that spot,
Still a cool fight.
Tony versus Conor is a fucking barn burner.
That'll be a great one.
I think that's a hard fight for Conor.
I agree.
Really, because Al Kukui's the boogeyman in that division. He'll take fucking 18 punches and he's still salsa dancing, just putting the
He's just
pressure on
walking
you
towards
and shit.
It's like skeleton.
And he's a Eddie Bravo 10th Planet Black Belt on the ground, so he's fucking non-traditional, and he's willing to just do these random ass submissions, and he's willing to take a shot to actually finish somebody or actually land a shot on himself. But that's a fucking hard game to play with Conor. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can maybe Ferguson will get fucking knocked out. Maybe Conor's fucking knocks both of them out for all I fucking know.
Which is what I'm expecting, to be
Yeah,
honest.
we'll see.
And even if neither of them pull out, we still get Al Kukui anyway.
For real. And yeah, Al Kukui versus the real life, or the back to the old Showtime Pettis, you know?
I really hope he does well.
Yeah, it's been a fucking MMA. It's been good these past couple weeks.
It really has.
It's leading really well into the future.
Something bad's gonna happen.
230 Nate Diaz.
One of
motherfucker.
those two main events is not going to happen based on the
Don't say
quality
that.
of everything else.
Don't
I feel.
say that.
There's got to be balance, you know. Thanos, balance all things.
Conor's gonna win,
Yep.
and this is like my best case scenario.
Okay.
Conor wins, Nate wins, and then we see the trilogy. That's what I want to see more than anything. If Nate loses, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Well, he is.
So mad. He ain't losing against,
Against
Dustin
Dustin.
Poirier. Don't even get me started.
I was teasing you a little bit. You're asking me, like, legitimately, like, who do you actually think's going to win? Against Nate and Dustin. I was like, Dustin.
I was
You're
like, what? Don't even get me fucking started. And I started up like, have you ever seen Nate get knocked out? Have you ever seen Nate get punked in the fucking octagon?
I'm pretty sure I was just laughing at you throughout it.
Probably. I was fucking buzzing and shit.
But it was a fun time. It was definitely a great card.
Yeah. So let's wrap this shit up, though.
For sure.
Everybody, if you enjoyed this shit, rate the podcast, share the shit, let all your nerd friends know. Hey, you guys want to listen to two fucking nerds on a podcast while you're at work fucking digging off, not doing shit? There's a podcast for you.
We're on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. You can even find us on YouTube. We got some game videos on there. We're actually pretty good at MMA, NBA.
Yeah, we got a Motor
is.
City My League playoff series, which we're almost done with because NBA 2K19 is coming out. So you got to wrap that shit up and start a new one on 2K19.
By the time you guys hear this, NBA 2K19 will actually be coming out the day after. So we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, quite a lot of games to play and edit real quick, but that's the fun of this fucking podcast life.
Yep, so make sure you subscribe to stay on top of everything. And until next time, we will see you guys later.
Peace out, crackheads.